You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live from Mulder and Scully's all-you-can-solve mystery hut. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Hey!
Hey!
Hello. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. I am your host, for lack of a better term. And every week we get together and we get a little nerdy, or we cover news and stuff, cool shit, stuff like that. I bring my buddy Ed.
I forgot a John Goodman quote.
Then we got my brother Bob on guitar.
Hey, what's up, guys?
I'm slipping.
But Bob nailed that right there. Mm-hmm. Oh, Bob's nailing it so far. We're a minute in and Bob's rocking. Bob's nailing it. He's scoring points. Hi, how you doing?
I'm good.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Are we done?
We got a lot to talk about.
Oh, my God.
We got so much going on right now.
There's just so much going on.
OMG.
Good. So this is episode 102. I think we established that. I feel like there's a hum going on somewhere. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that, I guess, to grow. I hope it's not on the other end. I think I found it.
Huh?
I was shaking some wires. I think I shook it loose. So this is episode 102. We're going to get to some news, emails. We got Trailer Trash is back, the DC TV report. We're going to do that later.
Yep.
Kids love that.
By kids, we mean Thomas.
Right.
Both of them.
Either one. All of them. Also, too, we're going to do something that we started last week, and we're going to turn it into an actual bit this week. We'll see how it goes. We're calling it World Conflict.
Okay.
And it was pointed out on Twitter that, like, oh, hey, you guys could do that about anything. So it's like, that's what we're going to do. What is that? I don't know. We'll get to it.
Yeah, I'm still waiting here.
See that? I was like, what does this mean? I'm like,
what is he talking
don't worry.
about?
It's like completely not complicated.
Oh, okay.
It's
So I'm gonna have
hypotheticals.
I'm gonna have to find a way to make this complicated.
Oh, Jesus Christ! All right, fine, whatever. But you do what you have to do to bring the ship down. You're like the guy on the Zeppelin who's like, "Is it? I can't smoke in here." I know it's a dirigible, but I mean, all right.
No, this isn't a real cigarette.
Yeah. I mean, the flame.
What do you mean I can't keep all this change in my pockets?
Yeah.
This is for the slot machines you have on board, right?
I guess.
It was the 30s. Everyone was gambling.
That's true. It was all penny gambling. So anyway, this is 102. We got some people in the chat.
We do?
Yep. We've got
who's in there?
We've got Wesley, Ryan Gaskins, and we've got John, Zombie John Thompson. Wesley's pointed out that they're usually the two people at the start of the show.
Yeah, they are the most regulars.
Yes. Also, Wesley wants to know if anyone else has seen the Space Between Us, or he hasn't seen it, but he wants to know if anyone recommends it.
Do you know anything of that off the top of your head? Because I do not recall exactly what that is.
No, I'll IMDb it right now.
I'm having a difficulty seeing the space between you and I right now, Ed. So, I mean, it's not very visible.
Oh, okay.
That's my point.
Okay, this is
Okay.
So this is Asa Butterfield and Gary Oldman. He plays the kid who was born on Mars, who wants to come to Earth, but they don't think he can handle the gravity.
Oh, right. Because he grew up in a different environment, so he may not have the chutzpah or the wherewithal. Well, he doesn't have the wherewithal. They're trying to see if he has the chutzpah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Can you do it, kid? It's a Rocky story.
Yeah.
I want to see if he's got the bones for it.
Yeah, is it in your bones?
They
were going to call it...
You like that one, Ed?
That was very clever. That was very clever.
A little soft bell for that one.
Want to see if he can stand the test of time.
So, So, Palmer was saying that there's no hum on the listener end, which is good because it's coming and going. But all right. Well, so no, haven't seen. I didn't even realize it was out.
Yeah, it came out 2 months ago.
Oh well, then
I guess it must be on demand already.
Select cities, very select cities. So let's do a hashtag game. Now, I know there's no hashtag game in the doc.
No, there's not.
So I'm going to whip one up and say superhero songs.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I have no examples.
Superhero show tunes?
Well,
it could be any songs, really.
Well,
Could be
just
heavy
any
metal,
songs.
could be...
Yeah, let's make it easy.
Hip-hop, could be...
Anything.
Whatever.
So...
just as long as it works.
Palmer's really upset with us right now.
Well, he probably is, actually. Or is he literally? Is he saying you
No,
guys
no,
suck?
no. I'm speculating here.
Oh, he probably
But I
is.
could just
He
see
probably
him
is.
like
Superhero songs. I'm sure within seconds, one of
He's-
these people who were listening in the chat room.
he's angry we spent the last 10 minutes before the show watching YouTube videos instead of like planning for the show.
Hey, man, we had to watch those trailers.
Master of X-Men.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go. Master of X-Men.
I don't know what that's reference
That's a
to.
Metallica song, Master of Puppets.
Oh, okay.
So,
So it'd basically be the story of Professor X controlling the X-Men.
fair enough. What's a... Well, give me a song, Ed, and I will make one. How about that?
Okay.
What's the song? Give me a song.
Another one bites the dust.
Another one.
Another one bites the Joker.
Oh, wow. That's just like
Yeah.
that sounds like shoehorning it in. Oof. Another one.
The Joker.
Oh no. Oh
Batman,
no. We got
Batman bites the dust.
we got Palmer throwing in examples.
Oh, and he's throwing them into the private chat.
Yeah, he's throwing them into the dock. We got Stairway to Krypton.
Oh, there you go. Fair
There you
enough.
go.
They're perfect.
Okay,
Thank you,
we're
Paul.
good. That's enough.
You've earned your keep. Stairway to Krypton. Actually, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And if that's somebody else's in the chat room, salute to you.
This proves there's a reason we don't pay him.
Well, there's a long list of that.
Well, there's a reason why you answer the phone 35 times a day.
Well, that's what I have to offset. That's why we don't pay him the phone bill. So we're moving stuff around, Bob. I don't know if you caught this.
No, I didn't.
All right,
Sorry.
so we've shifted
checked the doc
news. We're
earlier
going to put
today.
news earlier into the show and see how this goes.
Yeah.
All right. So, and plus we got a bunch of it this week because we haven't had much lately. But this week we got a little bit. Here's a piece of news. I'll play that thing. I think next week, news o'clock. I'm sorry, I almost missed the screen.
Sorry, you know me. I got to put the ending on
No,
everything.
no, absolutely. I almost missed the part where I scream and yell over it, and I didn't want anybody to feel like I forgot the important stuff. But
Okay.
speaking of forgetting
You're right.
things, Jay's not here this week, but next week he'll be back. This week he's at ChillerCon in Jersey, in New Jersey, beautiful New Jersey.
Okay.
Where it's
Newark.
you
He
know.
is from Newark, you know.
Yeah, it's a convention in Newark for horror and low budget people.
Yeah, they've held it in Newark because they wanted to scare the shit out of everybody who's going to the convention.
I guess
It's a nice way of doing it cheap.
Yeah, I guess. But with those kind of
No,
conventions,
'cause you don't have to decorate the hall. It's probably a shithole anyway.
No,
Well,
I
okay, we're gonna
I hear
offend
that.
people. It's actually in Parsippany.
Is that not New Jersey?
It's the Chiller Theater Expo.
Is that not New Jersey?
Yes, it's
So
Jersey.
that's all
but
I
it's
need.
not Newark.
Fair enough, but it's Jersey. It's all related.
Yeah, it's all
Oh, no,
ra-
I'm
it's all
looking
the
at the
home
wrong-
of radon.
Okay.
It's the same way people would dismiss us, but we'd be like, no, we're Staten Island. We're not We're not New York City.
Yeah, but
Like, or
people in
whatever.
Parsippany are going to be upset.
Aren't they always in Parsippany? Doesn't it sound like that kind of place? A little precious Parsippany. So just wanted to put that out there. Jay's going to have a scoop for us next week of some
All right,
kind.
that'll be
He'll have a
cool.
report from ChillerCon. But the first stuff we want to get out of the way is a quick stuff. Some quick hits. Fox has confirmed this morning a slew of new release updates, including
All right,
that
cool.
New Mutants is definitely happening. That's going to come out about a year from now.
These are movies, or are we talking TV shows, or
Movies.
These
Three
are
movies.
okay, these are movies.
3 movies. We got New Mutants on April 13th, 2018.
Nice.
Deadpool 2 on June 1st, 2018. And X-Men Dark Phoenix on November 2nd,
I think you're reading that
2018.
wrong. That's Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Oh.
Maybe we need to get Steph involved in this. She's from Arizona.
Okay, that's true.
It's pronounced-
She's near Phoenix.
Pronounced Phoenix.
You can say it however you want to say it, Ed. I will say it annoyingly.
I think it's a debatable thing. Okay, so I think you gotta be careful, Bill.
Fair enough.
We have the Captain Debate team over here.
Yeah, I'll lose that one in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Also, Avatar has begun. The Avatar sequels have begun production, and there's release dates involved. But who gives a shit?
Will there be any human cast in this movie?
Probably not.
No. But the first one is December 18th, 2020, which is another year back, I believe.
Yeah.
So
they pushed it up?
3 years before we get 4 more Avatar.
Well, it's because right now he's still working on tours to the Titanic.
Right. Fair enough. Yeah.
Right.
And one person at a time because it's that little capsule. That's why it takes so long.
And it takes like it's like an 8-hour trip. It's like a 15-minute tour.
And the line is really long. So
there's no bathroom.
Fair enough. Rosario Dawson is not going to be in the Punisher series. They just kind of mentioned that offhandedly.
Nope. Okay. His scheduling issue. She just didn't have time.
Yeah, just didn't have time. They were going to stick her in there. I'm sure he'll have wounds that need to be healed.
Well, yeah, but I think they can work in, what was his sidekick's name?
Micro.
Yeah, right, Micro.
I mean, that guy's all in it. Like, they've already cast that character. He's definitely in it.
So he's just going to pick up some first aid abilities.
There you go.
Until they can work her in for the next season or some bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Sounds about
not
right.
a problem at all.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
You want the next one?
Yeah, and it's official. X-Files is coming back for an 11th season. Fox has renewed it for 10 more episodes.
Order up more X-Files.
Now, I remember that Season 10 had mixed reviews, right?
Yeah, I had mixed emotions.
Mm-hmm. I did not watch it. I don't know you.
Did you watch the original series much?
I watched like the last couple of seasons. I was a huge Robert Patrick fan.
Wow. A huge Robert Patrick fan.
Yeah, I really liked Terminator 2.
And I thought this item was going to be a quick one. No, fair enough. Like, yeah. I get where you're coming from. I'm glad that actually brought people in. Because I thought it was going to chase away.
I'd watch it the last couple of years before that. I got like the last 3 or 4 seasons.
I got you.
And I remember like hearing like David Duchovny was leaving. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are we sticking around for this?
Yeah, I mean, do we need him?
Why is the show still going? And it was Robert Patrick. Like, oh, okay, I'll check it out.
All right. And it kind of tried to do a different thing.
Yeah,
but yeah, so as far as this reboot season that came last year, yeah, it's mixed. Maybe if it has 10 episodes, they can capture the feel of it a little better. Get their legs underneath them a little bit.
Yeah, but you got to really rebuild that whole relationship that the two characters had going on from the very beginning. If you're going to bring it back, it's kind of hard to do that when you have characters who have such a established relationship at this point.
And like an established kind of resolution in a way where it was like, hey, the series ended and these guys are kind of like, they're not together, like, it really didn't kind of work out too well and stuff like that. And it's like,
right.
But even with the and then with the resurging up all the conspiracy stuff where it just automatically defaulted into long-winded exposition of every conspiracy currently new or based on old stuff but has a modern day spin, but not really creating its own mythos. It was like, no, all that crazy shit that's going on out there right now, all the Alex Jones type stuff, it's all real. And it's like, okay, but what about you guys? What about, the X-Files show? Like, that was what was interesting. You would take that stuff and then make your own story throughout it. So where is that aspect?
Right.
You know what I mean? It really wasn't too deep on that. But so maybe it'll get a little better with having 10 episodes instead of 6.
Well, I think they need to get, what's his name from Better Call Saul back on that one.
Who's that?
What's his name? Gilligan was on that show.
Oh, Vince. Vince Gilligan. Well, you are missing a key component.
Yeah, I mean,
as much as you have Chris Carter, the originator, but still, Gilligan was he turned into a pretty important piece of that pie.
Yeah.
In the last several seasons. So Krypton trailer,
trailer leaked, and then when we just went to show Bob, it's not there anymore.
I missed out, I guess.
Yeah,
and it was intense.
It was interesting.
Krypton is coming on the Sci-Fi Channel sometime 2018. I don't know if it's going to. They haven't announced an official release date.
So here's the vibe.
Spend the money, do it right if you're going to do it.
So here's the vibe. In case you didn't see it, and I'll say this, Ed. You tell me how off base I might be, but I feel like if I were to say, it's Krypton, but it's really kind of Game of Thronesy, where it's about houses and power struggle and stuff like that. Where it's not like, hey, they're not superhumans. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it very much feels
this alien world, this whole new world kind of thing.
And the look of it, I think this could just be a prequel to Man of Steel. Like
it's using all the visual trappings, like the logo of the S, the House of L.
Yeah, even just that weird molten USB thingy that they were plugging into things to collect data. Like that's
the rod.
Yeah,
the super rod, basically.
Yeah,
that was back. That was so they're tying it at least visually into all that. They're picking up the aesthetic. Like, how much is it officially tying in, or any of that? Like, I guess that'll be nebulous.
But this is a very straight up sci-fi alien saga movie,
and the timeline looks like it's Superman's dad when he was young.
No, it's his grandfather.
Well, so we're 2 generations back.
Yeah,
that's not Jor-El. That's
no.
That's like Larry-El.
Yeah, no. This is his grandfather. I think it's supposed to be like
Hobart. Hobart-El.
Yeah,
Sam
Mortimer.
Mortimer's
a good one. Like, it's got to be old man names.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Henry.
Ken.
Oswald.
Oswald L. There you go. The conspiracy deepens. Also, now, I think I tried to take this out of the doc, and maybe you put it back in, Ed.
What's that?
About Netflix is bringing back Carmen Sandiego.
Oh, yeah. Well, I threw it in there. I didn't realize you'd taken it out and put it back.
Well, I thought I
Palmer might have thrown it in there.
Somebody's in trouble.
No, not at all. But usually what that means is that, like, if I take it out and Ed puts it back, that he's like, well, I actually did want to I had a point to mention about it. Like, as opposed to it just being a random thing he threw in and like, hey, do what you want. Usually if it goes back in, it's kind of like, oh, I had a thing. I had a good point. I had a point to make, sir. But
it's Seg-L, in case anyone. Segl.
Seg-L?
Yes.
Didn't Mom used to have a sewing machine with that name on it?
Maybe. I can see the logo kind of. So were you into Carmen Sandiego, that show?
Oh yeah.
But that was like a game show thing, right? It wasn't like a story. It wasn't a series.
Yeah, it was on PBS. It was like a kids game show. It was Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego.
Right.
Then later you had Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego. And that's where it got really cool.
That's where it got deep, bro. You don't understand.
Was that actually a cartoon? Because I remember.
Well, no, there was a cartoon on Fox 5 Saturday mornings.
Oh, they did eventually turn it into a cartoon. Is that the Time one, or was that also the game show?
No, it was separate from the game show.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that was the actual...
Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah. It was like this spy intrigue kind of thing.
Yeah, and no one could ever find her, but she would pop up and you could never see her face.
Yeah.
And no one ever knew who, is that her real name?
It was Dora's mom.
Now it all makes sense. Now it all makes sense.
Yeah, I know. But in the game show, the thing is, she would always...
I'm sure there's fanfic out there for that, Bob.
I'm sure
Somewhere there's a whole correlation between we don't know
Bad.
We don't know Dora's last name. Well, Santiago's very, very Latin.
Palmer's telling us it started as a computer game.
I believe that. That makes sense to me.
But the game show was always, at the beginning, she would steal something. Some big... artifact or monument.
Right. She's a bad guy.
And then, over the course of the episode, because it's PBS, so you're going to learn something.
Right. Kids are not here to win money.
Kids would be challenged on knowledge of that artifact to help find where she was so they could get it back.
Yeah.
And the place would be like some historical place, like an Incan tomb.
Yes,
or something like that.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Washington Monument or something. She stole the whole thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right.
She stole the Statue of Liberty.
Because that'll happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've seen G.I. Joe, okay? It's not that easy. All right, to steal a whole Statue of Liberty. Do you care that King Kong Skull Island might get a TV show, Ed?
No.
Yeah, this is weird.
I'm sorry, you were specific.
No, but fair enough, Bob. Open floor.
So yeah, IGN has this story, and so here actually it's coming out of the Hollywood Reporter. So they're developing a Kong Skull Island TV show.
Fair enough.
Which has absolutely no relation to the movie. It's different people, so somehow they split the movie rights and the TV rights to King Kong.
It works for CW? Right. Is that the thinking?
I'm getting friggin' flashbacks to when we were kids, and it was Friday the 13th, the TV show. Yeah. And it was about 4 people who were protecting amulets and magically cursed items.
Right. Had nothing to do with Jason.
Nothing to do with Jason at all.
Yeah. Right. Or slashers. And sometimes, because it was all horror bent, it was trying to be like a Twilight Zone thing.
Yeah. So Mar Vista Entertainment and I Am Global are producing this. The quote is that the creators have taken a world that has enraptured audiences in its many forms over the years and given it a contemporary, female-focused spin. And there's no release date. Series, and the series hasn't been pitched to any networks yet.
Oh,
so this is probably will never happen.
Oh, it sounds like it should never happen.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like a rights grab. It sounds like they have the rights and they're like, we'll move on it, and then maybe something will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
maybe because we're working on it, they'll let us go and tie something into the movie later.
I have a feeling it'll end up something kind of like what Bob was saying, where like not that it'll be as far removed as Friday the 13th the series was from those, but it'll be about like Kong Island, and it'll be like, you know, all the monsters are gone.
Yeah, we're gonna meet like Chaka.
Yeah, it'll be like a whole new kind of bullshit.
We'll meet like the natives and things like that.
Like Baby Kong will be there.
Fall in giant footprints once in a while.
Right, you know, and then you'll never see Godzilla, but you'll find some kind of like one of the spikes from his back, and it's
it sounds like it would have back in the 90s. It would have been one of those shows that's on Saturdays after kids go out.
Yeah, right.
Right after kids go out in the morning, like 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. Them really bad TV shows.
So there's a little bit of Guardians of the Galaxy stuff in the news lately, but one of the things we're going to jump on is the fact that James Gunn has said that there's going to be 5 post-credit scenes when the Guardians of the Galaxy comes out.
So it's going to be a 3-hour movie.
It's going to be a 45-minute credit run.
It's going to be about 2 hours and 10 minutes, you figure, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then, for the movie. And then you got, usually that time does include the credits.
Yeah.
But then you got 5 post-credit scenes.
Right.
Each one's going to be at least 2-3 minutes long.
Nah, some of them are 30 seconds.
I think the whole variable is that this movie's normally a goof. Mm-hmm. So what it came to my head first was that, well, you probably get some kind of like interruptions of the credits carrying through some jokey. Yeah. We keep turning the camera back on kind of a thing.
Yeah,
almost.
and I think we need to find there's a difference between a post-credit scene, a mid-credit scene,
and anything in between.
And an over-credit scene.
Right.
Which is where a scene is happening while the credits are rolling.
Right.
You don't see a lot of... Usually those are like bloopers.
Right, fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Somehow they only show bloopers in comedies.
But so I wonder how much of these scenes that he's mentioning are just because we've got 5 things we're going to show you, but like only 2 of them are really related in a normal way, and the other 3 are like for fun or to carry over some other story points, and it's just like a way... What I really like about the idea overall is that like, at the very least, it breaks up sitting through the credits... Mm-hmm. You know, for a lot of people, you know, it's like, do I run to the bathroom? How much time do I really have? You know, that kind of a thing. Yeah, at least it is for me.
You got to give due to all those below the line people.
You know? I understand, Dad. Mm-hmm. I understand. Trust me, I understand.
Okay.
We can only achieve success sometimes on the backs of others.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes.
So, like I said, listen, I have to get to that top shelf. I need to squat over here. And let me get on your shoulders.
That's right, shoulders.
So anyway, it's like who knows what that shit is. I'm sure that we'll love it all and eat it up. And then I don't know if you heard, but we have a parrot. We got a parrot in the mail.
Yeah, parrot.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's Petey, Petey the parrot.
Oh, Petey.
Yeah,
where is he?
Can't hear him? To the mic? I have the. No. Oh, let me turn it up on your end because we have it queued. We have him mic'd over the cage.
Mic'd, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, he's from Brooklyn.
Hey.
As you might have heard, been able to hear, but you know, so we only have to feed him like Gavadil and Supersat and all these kinds of real Italian Gabagol, all this like real Tony Soprano type shit, you know. see, you heard it.
Now I get it.
You heard a little bit of parrot.
Yeah, now I get it.
All right, I'm gonna turn down the mic on the parrot though for a little bit. Okay. So what else we got? What's next in there, Ed? We got anything else? I'll let you drop this.
They're doing a Lock and Key TV show.
Finally. So
excellent choice.
At this stage, Hulu has just put forth a green light for them to shoot a pilot. Mm-hmm. But Joe Hill is writing the script, which he's rewriting the pilot. He wrote the original pilot that got filmed by Fox, but put to the side.
Yeah.
So he'll get a little. So hey, Dad, what do you think?
Right. Well, there's that, I'm sure, but I think for the most part, because it's a different network and format and everything, he might be able to do other things with the setup, which will be interesting.
And perfect choice. It's Scott Derrickson, who directed Doctor Strange, but also directed, I believe, was it Insidious? He directed a couple horror movies before that.
Yeah. I don't know if it was Insidious, but you're right, though. He definitely has a little bit of pedigree with doing the weird and the horror slant and thriller stuff. So to direct the pilot and really kind of set a lot of the tone.
Sinister, that's what I was thinking. Sinister and Exorcism.
I think he's a perfect fit for that. Plus Carlton Cuse, who was one of the showrunners on Lost. It was Damon and Carlton as the dynamic duo on that. So this is Carlton Cuse, who's helping to run this.
Yeah, that's good.
And the pedigree's in great shape.
Sure.
It all looks like it's in great shape. The only thing that sucks for me is that I don't have a Hulu subscription anymore. Womp, 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 womp.
We can work that.
We can work that out. I'm sure. I'm sure I can get somebody's password. Some password donations. Could you help? Could you help the needy? Just Hulu password.
Wait, hey. This is a public podcast. Everything we do above here is above board.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm sure you're allowed to give it out to friends and family. And if we aren't friends or family yet, to the people who are listening, I don't know what's happening to this relationship.
Let's just say there's an application process.
Well, there is definitely time. We do things to
we're
marry.
probably going to need to do at least one interview.
And
a background check.
And maybe samples, maybe some fluid samples.
Yeah.
We'll just decide what we want that day. It varies. So we're very excited about that. We've all read that series. If you're looking for a comic book series that's like kind of finished and you know that you can just dive in, it's graphic novels and you haven't read it yet.
Right, yeah, if you're looking to binge something good.
Yeah, if you're looking for a good, fun ride of a comic that's different, that does things different, that isn't like trying to be so like takes itself too seriously kind of a thing, that has fun with itself.
Yeah, this is something that's a little horror, a little toned down. It's not purely adult horror. This is
it's not like blood and guts horror.
No, it's like...
I mean, it has its moments, but it works its way to them.
It involves kids.
Yeah.
You know, so it does have that almost like a Goonies quality going on, kind of underneath the more serious storyline.
But it's not dumbed down.
Let's put it like this: if I told you the setup,
it's well done. It's well balanced.
If I told you the setup, you'd think it was that's like some regular kids book series kind of a setup. You know, we move back into the family's old house and there's these set of keys that do really weird things. They would sound like very much like some Lemony Snicket type book series or something. But this is written by Stephen King's son. So imagine where that goes.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like...
It's very creative with the idea, but it still has almost a stand-by-me quality.
If we have a list of top 10 like show recommendations across the board, staff recommendations, this is on it. This is in the top 5.
Yeah, this is something I would expect to go on one of the major networks.
Yeah, it's almost like one of those things like where like read it now before they ruin it. Maybe
if this doesn't get taken up by a major,
it's Hulu.
It should, it's Hulu. So it is kind of NBC. It's who is it? NBC, CBS.
It's a conglomerate of a bunch of companies. But they're doing original programming that's working out pretty well. You know.
Yeah. This is a smart choice.
This is a smart choice for them.
Absolutely.
So also,
it's actually something. If I could just say one last thing that I was thinking would be great for down the road once it's established that it's an excellent showcase for them, more advanced directors to do like guest starring.
Yeah, I think actually what's funny is
I was actually thinking someone like Tim Burton would be great for a show like this, just to come in and do one episode. Maybe.
Something like that. I think even that the article
like the
that we pulled it from.
Point, not to give a spoiler away.
Well, I guess he did a little bit.
Yeah,
something like that. He'd be able to work with that, and it wouldn't be too confusing for most people.
So, also, speaking of horrors and scary things, I forced Ed and Bob to watch a trailer for Tom and Jerry plus Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Tom and Jerry, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
A lot of, I think, extra colon is involved here because this is a train wreck of abomination.
Yes, this is a direct to video
animated kids thing, which basically just takes Tom and Jerry and dumps them into the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka movie for like no
explainable reason.
Thank you. Or explicable. I don't think that was the right word, though.
Yeah, explicable is
but
correct.
it's a cartoon, so they're not really being dropped into the movie, so it feels a little out of place. And then the perspective is wrong, and some of the things that took place in the movie are overdone.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like they lifted audio straight from the Gene Wilder thing.
Yeah, there's a point you hear him singing.
Whose idea with this was it? How how did this happen?
I think there was drugs involved. Or
like, where's the Roald Dahl estate in all this? Like,
but where's any kind of real logic oversight? Was it just like, well, we have the rights, we can make this happen in house, and somebody was like, someone spit out the idea, and the fact that I feel like it was like a desperation move.
Right.
Like it was almost like, oh, we have to do this to keep like animated Willy Wonka rights alive or something. Like, it makes no sense. And then the animation is abysmal.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
the audio on the original audio that's there in this is really like
you could tell like
very 80s.
Yeah. You could tell it's like trapped, but just the animation style, like the drawing. It's like, look, what's the cheapest animation house we can get in all of Asia? Like, is there anybody cheaper than that?
I mean, Warner's Animation. I
don't care if you tell me it was made here.
They do a lot of direct-to-video stuff, and it's all out of Japan.
Well, I think this one was done in a weekend. It looks like it was a rush job,
but
drawn by people who use their feet.
Who's the writer? Okay. So we're looking at the Birth Movies Death article about this written by Scott Wampler, and.
He goes on. The article is mostly about what a tragedy.
The last paragraph is really the last two paragraphs. I have looked directly into the void of Tom and Jerry, Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory, and I have no answers, only questions, and the sneaking suspicion that the entire universe, perhaps even reality itself, is mocking us for being alive.
Just kill yourselves. This is the end of this is literally like hitting the wall.
Yeah, it hits DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah, this is more than jumping the shark.
And probably some digital platforms later in the year. But if we're lucky, the bombs will fall before that.
Right. The big A will land on us.
Basically, it's jumping the shark, being eaten by the shark, being shit out by the shark.
Yeah.
Because if they had just stuck with the basic concept of Tom and Jerry's perspective through the movie, and then recreated the movie from that perspective,
and just them,
and just add them,
but instead it's
you take all the things,
the kid,
that are key.
the kid, the grandpa,
you take all those key
songs,
things and you overplay them. The girl with the purple girl, she's not just eating one piece of bubble gum, she's running on the floor eating all sorts of candy and everything. So they're rewriting these characters a little bit, which makes it confusing.
Yeah, I think someone's pitch also too on this might have been like, this is for like, people who feel like maybe the Willy Wonka thing is like a little too weird, a little too subtextually grown up for my little kid. Yeah. This is better for them. This is a soft entry. I'd be like, this is still the stuff of nightmares. It still looks weird. Tom and Jerry are in the boat now when they go down the chocolate river.
Yeah, I would be more inclined to give this to a kid if I don't want him sitting in front of the TV on Saturday mornings watching cartoons.
The only reason I'm giving this to a kid is because I want that kid to hate me.
I would give it to him when they're 4 and scare the crap out of them, and never watch a cartoon again.
Yeah, there you go.
No. This is what you give to a kid.
Yeah.
And see if they like it. Not to trust them when they're an adult. They're like something's wrong with this.
This is a barometer. This is a test.
Because there will be kids who eat this up.
Oh, it's horrible. But it's horrible.
You think maybe it's some kind of crazy psychological test overall?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe it was never made to be
an identifier.
Profitable.
Right.
It was meant to be put out to the public as a test.
Yeah, it's like a they live situation.
A Rorschach test.
Yeah, it's like a they live situation. Like certain types of people will kill themselves when they watch this.
I mean, this may be a trend. We're gonna have to. You realize we're gonna have to get this and watch it.
Well, let's
kick your ass just for mentioning that.
Let's lay a rule so that you and Palmer know this. Just because we mention a thing doesn't mean we're gonna revisit. But don't get me wrong. Fair enough.
Because
we learned our lesson from the Swedish Fish.
Yeah,
and the Oreo cookies.
Because Uncle Jay, who's not here to defend himself, put it out on Twitter that he has the DVD, a double feature of the Incredible Two-Headed Transplant and
the original thing with two heads.
Yeah.
That we might have to do.
Yeah.
But I think we got to discuss how we do that, because I think that might end up being something we can abuse on the show.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But I also think...
like making part of the show, watching it.
Yeah. But I also think part of the problem with that is that it's a double feature.
Yeah.
About two-headed beasts, and it's too much.
Yeah. Could we handle...
that much too?
Could we handle that much?
Yeah,
and a double feature of that shit.
Maybe we do the original.
And then we come back.
We see how it does, and then later on... We revisit by doing the sequel.
I'm telling you right now, we do not walk out of the first one and go, yeah, slap the other one in.
Yeah.
I can't. We're gonna be like mentally drained.
No, because I have a feeling Jay's like, what the fuck you talking? We came
This
here.
is the best thing you've seen in the last 30
I'm
years.
I'm not
sit
driving.
down with Jay, and we're gonna have to have at least a 12-pack.
I'm
At
not
least.
driving 40 minutes home without having seen both these fucking movies. with
Put
you
it the
guys.
fuck in there already. Let's go. All right, so
I'm already starting my second cigar.
come on. Where's the ashtray?
Get the hooch.
So in another bit,
Good one, Hooch.
in another piece of news that's not as weird and spellbinding, but still a little confusing to me, ABC's version of the CW, but even lighter, also known as Freeform,
Yes,
Who
formerly known as ABC Family.
which last week announced they're doing Cloak and Dagger, and we talked about that.
Yeah, the trailer came up for that. That looks really cool.
It looks interesting. There's a tone in the trailer. I don't know if they'll ever really, if that's really in the show.
Well, no,
There's a really nice, because of the music is really kind of sets in a real kind of real weird, dark, off-put tone.
So this is.
I don't think it's gonna
this
be
is
there.
something, Bill. You didn't grow up with a sister who was obsessed with Secret Life of the American Teenager.
Okay.
Or
My So-Called Life.
yeah,
Or
Pretty Little Liars.
Right. Sure.
Yeah. So
I know who A is.
I'm familiar with the ABC Family vibe, and
Well, let me tell you, Ed, if anybody's house had the ABC Family channel like on a regular rotation, I'm not surprised.
Yes,
There's probably more than one button press on the favorites button.
formerly known as Fox Family,
formerly
known as
Pax?
the Family Channel.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But this wasn't PAX, though, right? PAX was
No.
another one.
This was the Family Channel.
Okay.
Which is
AKA the Safe Network.
yeah. Where like the only reason it existed is because Pat Robertson wanted a place for the 700 Club.
Well, that's
to be
what I
on
was going to
Sundays.
get to. I was like, I thought
Yeah.
that was 700. So anyway, point
Yeah.
being, though.
Yeah. So now they've announced they're also doing a new Warriors TV show.
New Warriors, Marvel team, popped up in the late 80s, early 90s. So I have a bunch of these. I've read this.
Okay.
I'm familiar with the lineup. Only two people from the lineup, original lineup. A third one pops up in their lineup later, and two other characters were never in their lineup.
All right. So I'm going to go through the names. Say what you will.
Fair enough.
First up, Doreen Green, Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl. She's a favorite on the Squirrel
Yes.
Girl. We love Squirrel Girl.
All right. Well, that's one that should have her own show on
Yeah.
Freeform.
Well,
I think
Marvel's been desperate to figure out a way to get her,
sorry.
bring her to screen.
Did you plug in my laptop?
Oh, are we losing? Are you losing? About to run out of juice?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, then we got Craig Hollis, Mr. Immortal.
Okay.
Now, I'm not a Marvel guy. You are, so you know who some of these people are.
So
who I
he
don't.
is originally from, Bob, you'd remember these guys, the Great Lakes Avengers.
Yeah, I actually was looking at the picture of him, and I'm like, yeah, I remember that color.
He used to have a
That
guy called...
If I don't remember the character, I remember that color pattern because it was in a whole bunch of uniforms.
But that particular
purple,
costume...
that kind of maroonish and blue.
Yeah. So his thing was I think he would die and come back or couldn't die, but the gag was that...
this guy can't die, or at least that's what he says.
Right, well, that's how
So he's Mysterion from South Park.
Keep in mind that these descriptions you're getting are of the show versions of these characters. But, so yeah, that was his hook. He would get killed all the time because that's what you do with a character who can die on a TV show. Okay, now we can just kill him all the time.
Well, hence Kenny on South Park.
Fair enough. But Squirrel Girl was not part of the team. She's just, Marvel just is desperate to find a place for her and a use for her because, she's cool and she's very popular right now.
She's a
in the books.
favorite.
Fan favorite. So there's that. Then,
And there shouldn't be a problem. They should just give her own show.
Yeah.
well, you would think so, but for some reason they shoehorned her in here.
Yeah, then we got Dwayne Taylor, or Night Thrasher.
Original team runner. You put the whole team together.
Okay. Robbie Baldwin, Penance.
Speedball. For those of you who don't know, actually is responsible for the Connecticut incident, which kicked off the original Civil War in the comics.
Although right below here, it just says just kidding. So I don't know if he's in the show or not.
He's Bobby, it's a joke. Bobby Baldwin, he's like, the guy who wrote it was like, just kidding. It wouldn't be that cool enough to use Penance.
Oh, okay.
Because he becomes penance eventually. Like his power goes wonky, shifts.
Oh, okay. So it's
like,
Robbie Baldwin as Speedball.
Yes.
Okay.
So Speedball was a really goofy character. Marvel tried to kind of. He had his own book for a little while. It was like I think it was a Stan Lee kind of thing, maybe even too.
Yeah,
but it was a very
Speedball. He used to bounce around, right?
Exactly. He just had unstable molecules, and just that was his thing.
Super fast, but like he would have to bounce into something. Beep, like a super bounce ball.
Yeah, and the whole character thing was very much of a Peter Parker when he first started kind of a thing. Regular kid, in over his head, just trying to keep it all going.
So this is like Key and Peele's Stanley.
Yeah,
that Key and Peele sketch.
Which one?
where Peele is Stan Lee, and he's he's coming up with all these like
Sandwich Man.
The stapler.
Yeah, exactly. He probably said Speedball because, Stan's like, I haven't done coke and what was it, Speedball originally back in the days? It was cocaine.
Cocaine and heroin.
Yeah,
cocaine
he
heroin.
Probably was in a room and overheard two artists talking about a speedball.
I was doing speedballs last night.
That's a character.
That's a
John Belushi died from a speedball.
Excelsior.
Then we got Zach Smith, Microbe.
So he's a late addition to the roster, the team, something more recent. So now his thing, according to that description, is that he controls microorganisms.
He communicates with germs.
And that sometimes can give the illusion that he's got telekinesis because people can't see the germs doing things for him. Mm-hmm. So I guess he can move objects, maybe a little bit, or...
Right, so you can use, like, the bacteria in the room to lift the table.
Stuff like that, I guess. How crazy he gets with it, I really don't know because I'm not familiar with him.
Well, I guess you can get kind of creative with it.
You could. I mean, I think I could choke you out if I jammed enough bacteria in your throat.
You can definitely stand in a room and threaten somebody and have, like, the bacteria, like, move the shades, open and close the doors.
Yeah.
I can do all this shit, man. I'm going to kick your ass.
And finally, we have Deborah Fields, Debris.
Yeah, and you'd have to go into the description on that because I forget how they break it down.
Not only is she a low-level telekinetic trickster who has experienced a serious personal loss due to the actions of superheroes, Deborah's also a proud, witty lesbian.
Oh,
yeah, but there's no more to it?
It's not all about, hey, I relate to the show because I want to have a squirrel tail, but, hey, this is the story about someone who's out as a lesbian and maybe it's not that easy.
Okay. Maybe I read it in the description or something like that, or in the comments, but I thought I saw something where she's not even a lesbian in the comics or something like that, or something about they changed something about her. But
The writer says that he doesn't recall Debris' sexuality ever coming up with the comics.
All right, fair enough. But anyway, point being that, so I think what's going on here, though, is they seem to be front stacking this to be a very kind of like goofier kind of show, maybe, or a lighter in tone, something a little bit more playful, because Speedball is a fucking goofball character. Mr. Immortal is basically originally was a goofball.
Squirrel Girl, how can you take her seriously?
She's whole thing is to be tongue in cheek, where she's like ridiculously confident, but it's a very positive forward thing that she's got going on, so it works and it's cute and good writing in the comics. It works,
right?
Yeah, she speaks and controls squirrels. I have trouble just thinking about the cues coming up. And she also has a tail of her own. Mm-hmm. She's got this big fluffy tail that she has to keep like hidden in her pants and shit. And, so it becomes a problem sometimes, which is funny. When she's like in college and she's just trying to take classes. And it's like, she's got to wear weird
So when someone basically gave her Aquaman powers, but on land.
And only limited to one particular phylum of species.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's okay.
But I'm excited. I'll check that out.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Look, hey.
I just want to say I would still pick squirrels over seahorses.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean they're land animals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Squirrels are just much more nimble in their environment comparatively.
And you're not. I mean, you might have a shot at getting some girl who's like into animals, like to have sex with you if you could show her you could control the squirrels. Mm-hmm. But if you control seahorses, you're just staring at a fish tank.
Well, it's funny. If you don't actually, right? Bob's got a fair point. Yeah. Like, you got to keep the seahorses around. Squirrels, you could probably just summon wherever you are.
Dude, there's going to be a tree around somewhere.
Well, so like you remember in the
decent, no problem.
You remember in the cartoon where like Aquaman would ride a seahorse?
Yeah,
like he'd have like fucking reins around it.
Sure, he's prepped.
And then like when I a couple of years later when you're in school or you go to the aquarium and you realize how small a real seahorse is.
Yeah.
You realize, what the fuck is this?
Was he riding a giant seahorse, or did he shrink down?
Did he shrink down?
Right. Yeah. I just want to point out too that if you take a woman to the park, lay the picnic basket there with everything in it, and then just command the squirrels to unpack everything.
Sure.
You're getting laid.
Yeah, I mean, at first when they all come running over, she'd probably freak out.
Right.
You have to be like, no, stay cool. Stay cool.
I got this.
Stay cool. Watch this. These are friends of mine.
Yeah. Right? And then, like little minions. Like,
watch this. These guys go nuts.
Just think, baby, we can take over the world.
One kooky squirrel at a time.
I think it's time to look at the hashtag.
Yeah, I think so.
We almost went off the rails.
Yeah. All right, so we got a lot here.
What do we got, Ed? Hit us with some.
So the game was superhero songs.
Superhero songs. Let's just go right down the list. I'll do it with you. We'll alternate, all right?
All right. Batman Do.
Is that like Catman Do? Yes, I'm going to Batman Do. Sweet Home Gotham.
Down in a Batcave.
Down in the back. The Joker went down to Gotham.
Batman Fever.
I think Joker went down to Gotham. I think someone could actually write that.
Yeah.
Give me three Starks.
Give me 3 Starks.
Oh, I got one.
3 Starks, baby.
The Flash and the Furious.
It's a movie.
The Flash and the Furious.
So what am I missing?
What's the song?
Oh, I'm thinking superheroes and movies.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Superman of La Mancha.
Oh, that's nice. Simple Spider-Man. I think it's supposed to be like Simple Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
99 Red Skulls.
99 Luft.
Yeah.
Luft Skulls. Knocking on Joker's door.
Okay. Pour some Deadpool on me.
That sounds like that fits. That fits in the movie.
I really shouldn't be singing these.
No. Neither of us should.
Yeah.
Literally, pocket full of kryptonite. Didn't even have to make anything out of it. Well done.
Yeah. Well, will you call me Superman?
Right. In that case, we just gave Bob a free door. It's an open door. What's the other one? The Jim Croce song. You don't tug on Superman's cape. Right? How about that one? But
Flash in Time.
Johnny Quick, be good.
Sympathy for the Groot.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Swinging into the night.
The Beautiful Mutants.
The Beautiful Mutants. The Beautiful Mutants. Yeah, I can hear it. Okay. Highway to Arkham.
Running with the Daredevil.
On the rooftops, I guess, right?
Yeah.
More mutant than a mutant. That's good. I like some 9 Inch Nails.
Rock You Like Kate Kane. That's Batwoman.
Thank you. Because I looked over like, who's Kate Kane?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar. What's the next one there? Am I Loki? Yes, I am. That's a Metallica, right?
Yeah. You Give Hero a Bad Name.
Ooh, smart. That's a witty one. I like it. Nothing but an X thing. Nice.
Carry On, Wayne Ward's Son. Wayne Ward's Son.
Wayne Ward's Son. Nice. There's a twofer in that one. It's all about Robin. Carry on, Wayne Ward's Son. We're not singing these next week. Straight Out of Gotham.
Come on, Straight Out of Gotham.
Motherfucker named Batman.
Something about a Batarang.
Something about a Batarang. I'm missing the original.
Here's another obvious one.
Okay.
A Bat Out of Hell.
There you go. Batman out of hell.
Batman out of hell.
Batmobile. Batmobile out of hell. I'll take that. Enter Batman.
There we go. The Ballad of Wade Wilson.
What was the Ballad of Billy the Kid, maybe?
Yeah.
Is what they're playing on that? From Billy Joel. The man thing that should not be. We have another Metallica fan in the house, pal.
Batman and Justice for All.
Superman in the sky.
Okay.
And then Me and My Henchman?
Me and My Henchman.
It's like Me and My Shadow?
Me and My Shadow.
Right. So it's Joker.
And My Henchman.
There's a great performance of that in an Abbott and Costello movie.
Shut the fuck
called
up.
Hold That Ghost. but it's I forget who the performers are, but it's a white guy and a black guy, and it's like, oh, they'd never show this on TV today.
It's like that, huh?
Yeah. And the white guy's got a black tux, and the black guy's got a white tux, and
Sure.
you're like, oh my god.
And is like the black guy being the shadow and reveal,
and
like it's a big hoot from the audience, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it, because he's black, so he's a shadow.
And they perform it very well, and it's like a fun song, and you realize this is so racist.
Yeah, well, people talk about blackface, but
a little bit.
You know what I mean? Just a little bit. Just a little bit racist. A little bit. Even Bobby.
Excuse me, guys. I was watching some mob movies today.
Yeah.
I think like Sinatra and Sammy Davis did that song, and you're like, all right, we're done. That's it.
We did it once. We did it.
That's the door closing.
Sammy wrapped that one right the fuck up. He's like, yeah, we're done with this one.
Wesley saying that it's the Battle of Curtis Low.
I'm not familiar.
It's a Lynyrd Skynyrd song.
Okay. He's from down south, so we'll give him that. He's making some Southern boy references. Yeah. It's all classic rock stuff, though. I bet you it's a song I know too if I heard it. Now we kind of do a thing these days. Lately, we've been doing it. It's called Trailer Trash.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got anything for it? We got anything? Make up something? I think that works. We're going to go to the movies. I don't know. I don't know. If we had
we're going to go to the movies. We're going to go to the movies.
So we saw 4 trailers this week.
That's right.
That came out. We're going to decide if we're going to cash or trash.
Trailers is
basically.
Free.
And what was that?
Because watching the trailers is free.
That's the best part sometimes.
Yep.
But the thing is that if it's good and we're going to go, we would actually go see it and pay money. Then we say cash. But if it's trash, it's trash.
If it's trash, it's trash.
I ain't got to explain that part
to you. As we continue this bit, are we going to be able to change our mind as we see more and more trailers? I
guess
technically, we see one trailer of something like
fair point.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and it might look good, but then if we see 4 or 5 of them, maybe we see too much of the movie and we decide maybe we don't want it.
Could we revisit some of these?
Yeah.
I think potentially we could, because if it's worth the second trailer is so different that now we all love the idea, or it's worth revisiting.
I think this is even the kind of thing where we could say, I'm going to see this movie, but this trailer is trash.
I think the thing is that it's supposed to be
a fair aspect as well.
Yeah. Well, the pitch and the hook in my head was that it was about based on this trailer and this trailer alone.
This trailer alone, would you go see it?
Right. Okay. So it's individual basis. So you could resubmit. We could get a word from one of the movie companies, and they're like, guys, but we've got a new trailer just for you. Check this one out, boys. Imagine.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because a movie like the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is going to have 5 or 6 trailers before it comes out.
Or at the very least, they're going to have some of these movies, maybe not so much with Guardians, but a lot of movies, you get 2 or 3 trailers, and the tone completely shifts. It almost feels like 2 different movies.
Now,
because they do tend to try and sell it as one thing to one set of people, and then another set of they sell it as something else.
Yep.
Now, all 4 movies that we picked this week, it was their first trailer. So
fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah. So first up, if we're going on the order on this list, it's American Assassin,
which stars someone I don't recognize.
Yes.
But he's known-ish, I guess. I don't know. So, but basically the hook on this is
Scott Adkins.
Scott Adkins. I don't recognize him. I'm sure he's from something I should probably recognize. Probably from Teen Wolf or something stupid that I don't watch.
Well, he played Lucian in Doctor Strange. He was in Expendables 2. He's basically been he's been a background guy in a lot of things. Up. Yeah.
So this looks interesting. I think one of the things that's kind of a weird thing is he doesn't seem like the type, but that's the point of this story of a regular guy who becomes obsessed and basically becomes an assassin.
Yes.
Gets himself pulled in to being an assassin, basically.
Yeah, it's based on a novel by Vince Flynn.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta say, when I started first watching it, I was thinking, just based on the title alone, that it was a movie based on that guy that American guy. He was a nut job. He went over to Afghanistan on his own and spent his own money, and he started shooting people up.
I think that's probably what this was a starting point for.
That's a Nicolas Cage movie.
Yes,
I don't know if that's come out or if it came out and no one saw it.
Right, but
there is
an adaptation on that story too.
Directed by Larry Charles, who did Borat.
Yeah, I think that did come out. Now that I think about it, but it got so low.
Yeah, it was probably limited release.
Yeah, and it's Nick Cage, so it's like But yeah, actually, it did come out because I remember. Well, I saw trailers for it anyway.
Yeah.
But so I can see why this would be familiar to that kind of a thing. It's basically the same kind of thing.
It seems like at first it felt like it could have been like a Hollywood adaptation where they just went, you know what, we're just going to go serious with this.
Yeah, straightforward, hard.
Then I was like, okay, it's just a story.
Yeah, it's one of these kind of things where, so I guess his girlfriend gets killed. He becomes committed to trying to go overseas to get revenge on these terrorists who are responsible, basically. But he's average guy. He's a regular guy and just commits himself to like some training or whatever. But the CIA scoops him up, or somebody scoops him up, some covert division, and says, you know what? We could use you for something. And because everything's off the black book over there and all that whatnot. Then all of a sudden Michael Keaton pops up as the wise old yoga.
This looks like he's yogi. It's funny because like every movie is like his best movie in 10 years.
Yeah,
but like
every time we see him, he's getting crazier and wilder and doing crazier shit.
But this it's like
which is odd because in his past career he was a comedian.
Yeah, well that's the thing. He's flipping it now that he's older. It's just like I'll just fuck. I'm going to just chew scenery and shit.
Yeah. He decided to get himself a serious agent. And
This is my rebranding of myself.
Yeah. This is post Birdman, and we're like,
right. Yeah. Everything changed after Birdman. You're right.
Yeah.
But
this is very different. But like, whoa, he looks intense. He looks like you don't fuck with this guy. Like, I want to see this just to see that character.
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing.
Yeah, that character looks like the kind of character you want to keep watching.
I want a movie of him. I want Michael Keaton's Taken. I want his version of Liam Neeson's Taken, kind of a thing. I want to see something like that now.
No, now you said that, I'm actually just picturing him doing this badass academy where he just like takes agents and turns them into badasses.
Sure. Yeah. I mean that works for me too.
You know, and then like an American 007 almost thing, like an academy.
Yeah, I love it.
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with this, that's the only character I really connected with. The rest of the trailer seems very by the numbers.
A lot of it did. Even everything leading up to it. It's nice visual. It's a different kind of visual maybe, but it very kind of felt like... Well, once you get to a point in the trailer where you're like, oh, okay, we just saw the first 20 minutes of the movie. Like, we weren't seeing like a long or protracted kind of series of events. Yeah. That just gets us to here with Michael Keaton. So all of a sudden, where I thought I was going to see this longer play that was just about him trying to make that move. Yeah. All of a sudden, it's like, no, we're gonna, So I don't know if it gets my cash though. What about you, Ed? Is it getting your cash?
You know what?
Are you gonna get up and go?
Michael Keaton makes it really tempting. That's like the one thing that's like.
I feel like another trailer might push it over the top. But right now,
right now, I'm gonna say trash it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say skip it, my friend. I'm gonna say, you know what? It doesn't. It takes a certain something to get me out, and I feel like it's almost there. So they might be holding stuff back for the next round of trailers, but for this one, I'm gonna skip on too. I'm gonna say trash.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go see this one. Not based on this. This sounds like a story that's kind of familiar. Yeah, it's just this guy's openly committed to changing his life in order to do this. That's the difference.
I mean, it's compelling, but I don't know if it's that compelling.
Yeah.
Speaking of compelling. The Little Hours.
Yeah.
Is the next one.
Wow.
And, do you want to tell people the note I had in the doc for this?
No, because I can't pronounce those names.
Yeah,
it's Decameron.
Yeah, who the fuck makes a movie out of Boccaccio's The Decameron?
I don't even know what that is.
It's a series of novellas from the 14th century.
Okay.
Written by this Italian guy, and it's all these little stories. Usually involving clergy, and it's different examples of sin. So you see priests and nuns doing some pretty unforgivable shit.
Yeah.
And so you've got Aubrey Plaza and Kate Micucci and Fred Armisen coming together to do not a modern, but just basically to do a version of that and say, we're going to take all these horrible morality tales from.
Let's play a little bit of the trailer because it opens up pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was April Fool's joke. Gives a nice cast list: Alison Brie, Aubrey Plaza,
John C. Reilly.
Beautiful morning, sister.
Hey, don't fucking talk to us. Get the fuck out of here.
Sister Ginevra, Sister Fernanda, Sister Alessandra, Sister Maria. These are your sins.
Bling, bling, bitch, do my own thing, bitch.
Filthy conversation,
Mind your own fucking business.
lustfulness, homosexuality.
It's too tight.
Did you roll your eyes?
No.
You were rolling your eyes.
Wake up,
When she
little
does it
bitch.
again, she's like, yeah, so. So, this is probably one of the highlights of the list in a way because it's, well, first of all, it's the only straightforward comedy we got on here.
Yeah. Let me tell the listeners what I was telling you guys off air, which was when I first started watching this trailer. I was like, okay, why on earth are we going to be reviewing this on our show?
Right.
And then
'Cause it
she
does the-
opened her mouth, and I was like, oh, okay.
And that makes
Never
sense.
mind.
It's a little bit of a misdirect. Here's a little more.
Bring me his goddamn balls.
Preaching to you little bitches, did you hear what I said?
Girls can be tough. I'm not going to lie. They can be very tough.
What is this shit?
This is a turnip.
That's not a turnip, it's shit.
So just to kind of finish out that, just to set that up, they're like, what year do you think that is?
Oh, that's definitely
15?
like 14, 15.
14th century. So
Oh, 14th century.
1300s.
Oh, okay. That's like last week. Yeah. So anyway, it's this weird juxtaposition, and it's over the top. It's raunchy, and it looks like a ton of fun.
It's kind of like Kentucky Fried Movie meets Mel Brooks kind of stuff.
It's in it's in that wheelhouse because it's
it's raw, it's raunchy, it doesn't hold anything back, and thank you for that.
Yeah,
because that's what we need comedy to be.
Yeah,
Just
not be afraid.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch, and just know we're all going to hell.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
hey,
what you think? Maybe you didn't already buy a seat down there. But my shit's paid for a long time ago. All right.
Yeah, we're Sweeney's. We realized we were going there quite early.
Yeah, we gave up on all that stuff. So that looks good, but will it get your cash, or will you classify it trash because you have to pass?
Yeah, no, I'm cashing that.
Yeah,
I thought you might.
I'm going to cash that one.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun.
I would
it looks like a lot of fun.
I'm actually hoping this is still out when there's a good action movie, or a superhero movie, and I could do a double feature.
Yeah, well, you know what I was just thinking too is that like just for the sake of the show or whatever, like just don't see enough comedies. Like I think I was thinking about it with Deadpool too. It's like I haven't gone to a movie and just laughed a lot in a long time. Like just I end up seeing comedies at home. Whatever.
Yeah, and that was a great one to go to because you were able to vent right from the moment that things started going.
Fair enough. Now the next one is just quirky.
This is an odd film.
It's odd. I don't know.
It's called Wakefield.
Yeah.
It's starring Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
And Jennifer Garner.
Yeah.
It's written directed by a guy named Rob Swicord.
Okay.
And it's about this man who decides that he's going to
just not go home.
Yeah.
He just kind of decides that he doesn't want to take part in society anymore, and he decides to stalk his family for the rest of his life.
Yeah, it's just he's
as a homeless man.
He's in the attic
of the house across
the street, and he's just watching them realize that he's not there anymore.
And like it looks like in the very beginning of it, like maybe it happens as a fluke. It's almost like a thing where he's like, "Well, let's just see what happens if I don't come home right away." You know what I mean? And he's kind of like talking through it a little bit. It reminded me instantly of when I was a little kid, and I would hide in a closet and wait for someone to notice that I wasn't around. And oh shit, where the fuck is Billy? Where's your brother? Where's your like? You know what I mean? See how long it would take. But that's kind of the thing he was doing.
Yeah. And according to this, it's released next month. Now, this is probably going to be one of those indie films that starts out small, and then if it gets traction, we'll get a wider release.
Yeah. But it's Cranston. It's got this real somber undertone going on with it. It looks like a thinker of a piece.
Yeah.
And it is. And it's compelling as hell. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. But that trailer, it almost feels like it's a complete story. Like, I almost don't know,
what's left.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found it kind of creepy, too.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because at my age, I don't have kids and a family of my own. But to see him sitting there at the window watching them realize that he's not coming home and go through that stuff.
And then do it for a while.
Yeah, and then I could, no way.
Like, he's there for months. He grows a beard.
Well, that's the thing. There's a passage of time before the trailer's over. And it's like...
This for him is something like, how long can I do this? So he's getting some kind of entertainment out of doing this.
Yeah, it becomes a very much of a...
so what does that tell you about him? Me too, you know?
Yeah, it becomes very much of a observing test kind of thing.
Yeah, I get the feeling that this is going to be a movie that kind of makes you feel uncomfortable things.
Yeah.
Like Swiss Army Man.
But not
that
those
was,
kinds of things, though, specifically.
That was the point of Swiss Army Man.
Yeah, to make you think, to make you feel.
Just to make you feel different things than you've ever felt in a movie.
Yeah, and I think this...
this is going to kind of... It's kind of going to touch on those things.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not as much as Swiss Army Man.
No! Yeah.
But because it's trying to tell a more complete emotional story.
Yes.
But it's going to have that quality to it.
Yeah. I could totally feel that, too. Yeah, it's definitely got this thing where it's like...
So, be prepared to feel something you might not normally feel when you go see this movie.
Yeah.
For Wakefield.
With
Cranston.
So we trash and a cashin'.
I'm going to trash right now. If I see another trailer... I feel like this is another movie. This is a movie where we'll see another trailer, and it'll feel almost like a different packaging.
You know what? You know what?
Could be.
Cranston's enough for me. I'm going to cash this one.
All right.
Yeah.
All
well,
right.
you are the movie buff.
You do have a special pass.
You tend to watch movies that, for movie's sake, not necessarily movies that would be in your normal wheelhouse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We'll get to that in the meanwhile.
Yeah, fair enough.
So we'll get to that. Next up is The Beguiled with Colin Farrell, Nicole Kidman.
The House Full of Ladies at the turn of the century. I don't know which century.
This is like cannibalistic misery with multiple females.
This is another movie that...
I don't know what
this is. Another movie that reinforces stay away from women.
It's definitely...
It definitely makes a case for homosexuality.
I think it's...
No. Just don't get married. Just stay away.
Guys probably aren't much better. You know what I mean? But it's definitely one of these things where I feel like it's building. It's one of these movies that's really kind of just building to one particular moment or scene.
Yeah.
And then once we get that, that's like the thing. Like people will be like, no, just go see it. Mm-hmm. And like for me to give anything away, it gives away one big crazy scene in it, and I feel like that's a thing.
Just the basic setup is Colin Farrell. He looks like he's some soldier, Civil War, run off the battlefield, and Nicole Kidman runs this home for girls,
ladies,
for ladies, and they take in Colin Farrell and help him nurse him back to health.
Yeah, and I'm sure at first glance when he first gets there, it's like, okay, he's getting lucky to be around all these ladies.
Yeah,
some
weird shit goes down. Man.
Seems like his dick might get the better of him.
Yeah,
like it might make some decisions for him. And I think spreading the love around a house full of crazy women may be a bad idea.
Yeah, Kirsten Dunst is there, and anyone who saw Fargo season 2 knows shit's happening.
Well, sometimes you just got to do what you have to do. Don't worry about it. Just, I'll stab you. Anyway. So, The Beguiled. I don't know if it's getting me.
This is... you got to say that one thing about this. It is a Sofia Coppola movie. Sure. Her record is excellent making movies.
Yeah.
So, whatever's going to happen in this movie is going to be a bit of a mind fuck.
Yeah.
I'll
be honest. I'm not a Sofia Coppola fan. Her movies just seem very odd and offbeat.
Well, I think it's a thing too where this seems like something that's going to work well in that. I think you're right, but this feels a little bit more. I don't want to say mainstream because it doesn't feel mainstream.
No.
But it is that kind of thing where you've seen it before. It's turn of the century, and stuff like that.
Like this seems for Sofia Coppola fans. This seems like right in their wheelhouse. It's really going to be one of her better works.
Sure,
but overall, it just doesn't seem to be my thing. So
it just doesn't seem to be my thing.
No, it's not. It's not.
If I'm going to be honest,
it's gonna. So I'm trashing this.
Right. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm going to trash this as well. I got the feeling, seeing this trailer, that this is another one of those movies that is clearly marketed for the ladies. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect for that. I think it's going to be an excellent movie, whatever it ends up.
Yeah, I'll agree.
And, so, if I had a lady friend, I'd probably end up watching it with her.
So, Bill, you gonna join the misogynist pigs?
No. I will because here's the thing: is like I feel like I kind of know. I feel like I know too well what this is, and I don't know if I can sit through the build up. for what I presume is going on here.
Now, just give me percentage odds.
Bob was just playing like fucking blind BB
I
King. Not even
was
regular.
yawning and playing at the same
time. Is that what that was? Out of the side of my eye. Like I just
volume
saw your
down,
head
just
going,
in my head.
You were feeling it.
Now, just give me percentage odds that Colin Farrell is able to walk away from this house with his penis attached to his.
Oh, I'm giving it like a low.
I think he's going to keep his penis, but I think his other legs, his other appendages are going to be questionable at best.
Fair enough. Yeah, it is some kind of.
And we may be even getting a little bit of what happens to Harry Starr in the comic.
There's a
when
lot
the
of
leg gets cut off.
There's a lot of possibilities. You know what I mean? I feel like they're going for his dick. But I don't know. But I think of all the appendages,
too obvious. That's what I think.
Yeah, it probably is. They're probably going to want you to think that they chopped his dick off, but in the end, it'll be like they took him from the knees down or something. But because that's all he does. That's the big takeaway from the trailer is him screaming, "What did you vengeful bitches do?" from like the other room as they all just look down the hall like, "Yes, we did, didn't we? Yes, we did. Revenge." So guess what, kids? We moved it around, but here it is.
Meanwhile,
it's the Meanwhile. It's when we kind of real quick we go over a couple of things that we saw or consumed in during the week. We both saw Fargo.
Yes,
me and Ed. So we'll give that a quick.
Oh my God!
Yeah, still really good.
Yeah, you and McGregor playing twins.
I was like, wait, I thought they were supposed to be twins though. And it's like, okay, no, they are. They're brothers, but I think they're not twins.
Yeah, no, I think they're brothers, but
I think they're just separated they are separated because he was like, I'm your younger brother, and they look so different.
Yes,
I think the twins thing is not a thing, but they are. But he does play a set of brothers who couldn't be more different from each other.
Yes, very much so.
But
and it's weird because there's no direct connection to the previous seasons.
Okay,
but you do see those same elements creeping in. There's definitely a lot of parallels, but no like direct tissue. You know what I mean?
Right. I think I agree. It's one of those things where it's like, there's an aesthetic to the show.
Yeah, it's
always going to be about some kind of crime that went crazy wrong. Some kind of crime with a misjudgment, and a local police. And we're going to follow both of those tracks as story tracks. And those might spread amongst themselves. Like, okay, you follow 3 or 4 of the people involved with the crime and a couple of people around the cop, you know what I mean? But the quirkiness is just so everywhere all the time. And I really feel like, people may not appreciate this show if, like, just because you can jump into season 3 knowing nothing. Yeah. Or any season of it and just start up, that, like, you do just gotta sit back and let it happen because it's one of those shows where it's just like, things are gonna just be what they are here, so just let them come to you. Don't try to, like, mentally chase down stuff too much. Anyway, it's living up to
expectations.
Yes. My personal expectations.
Very good. Yes.
If I had to give it a something, I'd give it a something good.
Yeah.
Okay. You saw Freefire.
Yes, last night I went to AMC Jersey Gardens.
Give me like a real quick, tight. What is this movie, Ed? Like, if you had to describe it, just real quick before you get into it. Like, what is the setup? Like, in a sentence.
So the setup is a gun deal in a warehouse gone wrong.
Sure.
Yeah.
With, like,
basically
standoff.
Yes. IRA trying to buy money from an arms dealer, trying to buy guns from an arms dealer, and someone pisses off somebody else and just gunfire everywhere.
And it's just this really long. Well, it's
the whole movie takes place in one room
in this warehouse. And it's all like very standoffish. Everyone's got a corner.
Yeah.
There's like 8 people maybe.
Yeah, probably about a dozen people.
And, it's all who can pop shots off. Everyone's trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
Love it.
Pretty much.
Love it.
Yeah, and it's 90 minutes of this. It starts out incredibly. You got great cast. You got Armie Hammer. You got Brie Larson, Cillian Murphy, Sholto Copley. Yeah. But
it's a lot of names you can't really say easily.
No.
I noticed that. Me, anyway.
Yeah, it's written and directed by... co-written and directed by Ben Wheatley.
Okay. He's good at stuff.
Yeah, who you might remember from High Rise or sightseers. But really snappy dialogue.
Okay.
Some of the lines. My favorite setup for a character is Sholto Copley comes in the room, and then someone just basically says, he was misdiagnosed as a child genius and never really got over it.
Oh, okay.
Which I think just
no pressure, huh?
Yeah. Explains his demeanor. But yeah, and
does this have like a Quentin Tarantino-y
definitely.
thing going
yeah,
on?
it's set in the 70s. It's supposed to be Boston, but like there's nothing visually that hits that off except a couple of characters have like really, really thick Boston accents.
Yeah, I mean,
it's basically like a British gangster movie.
I like it.
Yeah, and
I like the setup.
Yeah, it does drag on a little bit after a while. You can only see people crawling around in mud and blood for so long,
and trying to talk each other out of.
Yeah.
Or into hooking up and making deals, I guess, kind of a thing.
Yeah, it does have a twist. There are some cool action bits. It's, it's good old popcorn fun.
Fair enough.
I saw this last night. It was the premiere, and there was only one other person in the theater, which disappointed me a little bit because I feel like...
That's a bad sign?
Yeah, but this is the kind of thing I think in front of an audience would kill.
Yeah, it seemed strong by the trailers I saw.
Yeah,
and the buzz and the early word of mouth.
Yeah.
We've even got an ad now that's running on YouTube with Martin Scorsese in the front of it, talking about how much he liked it.
Yeah, he's an executive producer.
Oh, that explains it then.
Yeah.
No, at no point did he say I'm a little biased, but
yeah,
I like the movie. I like it.
Yeah, but it's definitely goes back to that gritty 70s filmmaking vibe. And
sure.
The people who are hungry for that are going to eat this up.
Sounds good to me.
I think it does drag a little bit towards the end, but overall I think it's fun. I'm going to give this 3 American tacos.
All right.
Which is a recommendation.
Okay.
3 American tacos. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
also really quick.
Really quick.
Yeah.
Huh?
I binged season 2 of Baskets this week.
Yes. I still have not jumped into the basket.
Yes.
It is in the big list of things I will get to.
And it really, like, the first season was pretty much mostly about Zach Galifianakis' character Chip.
Mm-hmm.
And he also plays his twin brother Dale.
Fair enough.
And this seemed to expand more onto the family a lot, pretty much. I think more than half of this season was dedicated to his mother, who's played by Louis Anderson, Christine, and that guy, man.
I know it's all about the Louis.
Oh my God!
It's all,
it breaks
Mr.
your
Anderson.
heart. This woman is so infectiously joyful.
She's the bright spot in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is, right? She's like endlessly optimistic.
Yes.
And it's all about, no, it's going to be okay. Everything's fine. And it's all like really a matter of denial, serious denial, right?
Yeah, okay. Because she's going through a lot personally.
Yeah.
But it's all about making you, aren't you doing so good? That's, you know what? That is such a nice hat. I bet you don't. How do you keep it so clean without putting it into a washing machine? I don't.
Right.
That is amazing. Yeah. Like she will find something about you that is that is glorious and make you feel great about it.
I'm blushing right now thinking about it. But all right. So
and that was I watched probably the whole thing in about 4 sittings. That was good. And one big beef. Sorry, I'm bashing.
Literally. Oh, I see what you did there. That's a pun.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone has been seeing commercials for Arby's lately, but they've been rolling out this new... They've got the gyros back.
Okay.
And they call them the Mediterranean tacos.
Okay.
And I'm fucking pissed because I think they're stealing us. I don't know how we can get a copyright lawsuit. We have the American taco.
Yeah.
So if anyone else is going to call something else an ethnic taco, it's going to be us.
Whoa. I don't think we can really lay claim to that. In a sense, American taco
I
is one thing.
appreciate your emotional outrage.
I'm just saying.
But I think one over the other is. I don't know if we got to like the stand on.
Yeah, we'll run it by legal. We'll see what happens. I mean, if they think that there's something there, then okay, we'll chase it down.
It doesn't cost much to file and
a cease and desist. We'll fax it over. We'll see if they react.
Yeah. But I think did I text you at like 3 a.m?
Not recently.
No. Okay.
I mean,
about
previously.
This. But I have seen the commercial though.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And it's just so they don't have to say gyro. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think they say gyro.
Yeah.
At one point.
I saw something
Gyro.
about
Gyro.
gyro, but they don't know. They say it in a third way that no one should. You know. Anyway, so I watched The Discovery on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
That's Robert Redford and the young chap from How I Met Your Mother. What's his name?
Jason Segel.
Jason Segel, and it's a drama. It's a straightforward thing. It's a downer, but in a good way. It's not. I mean, as bleak as the subject matter is, it's not like completely dour and miserable. It's really well done for what it is. But it's the hook on it is basically that Robert Redford's a scientist, and he has figured out that in a total provable way, that when people die, their soul, their consciousness does go somewhere. Does go to another plane.
Okay.
But that's about all that they know, but it's quantifiable. So basically what happens is over the next couple of years, it's all, everybody backs it up, and it's like, oh, shit, yeah. But then what happens in the real social structure kind of way is that people start killing themselves because now they know that there is something on the other side, and it's something to go to. You know what I mean? And so it's like, does he feel any responsibility for all this? Having given up put this thing out there to the world and stuff like that. Jason Segel turns out to be his son, who's also a neuroscientist. And so the father's working on, it should be the next phase of it, of where do we go next from here? And it gets into some of that. I don't want to give away too much, but it's nice. I liked it. I thought it was going to be a lot bleaker and heavier than it ended up being.
It sounds like something that could get very dark.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. It looks like Seattle all the fucking time in it, too. It's shot with a gray palette, basically. Very muted color palette.
It's all just after magic time?
Yeah, but if you watch the Netflix trailer for it, it'll give the impression. I'm not saying there's a comedy in it or there's a lot of upbeat stuff. I'm just saying it's not endlessly dour like it might seem from the trailer, because I thought that's what it would be. I'm like, let me give it a shot, because I liked the idea of the hook. It seemed like an interesting or quasi-realistic spin. That's a thing that people might do if they found out such a thing. I want to see where the story took it, and I liked it. In the end, it ends up being a little bit more sci-fi in a sense, but not over the top. I'll leave it at that. But I liked it. I'll give it a 3 point something, 3.5-ish. Okay. It's definitely a recommendation. Check it out if that sounds like something appealing.
Okay.
I could help him right away. All he's got to do is let people know, so that, hey, we don't know where you're going to go. For all we know, we could be going to a psychic shredder.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Yeah, on the other side,
Yeah, so that's what Jason. That's an argument people have is just because that there's something, you still don't know where that leads to.
Right.
You've got no real That's part of the social argument that goes on behind the scenes, kind of thing. It's you still know nothing. You didn't really get an answer just by knowing that aspect.
Your mental energy could be going to another plane to be used up to light a light bulb.
That's what Segel says. He goes, another plane, but it could be hell. You don't know. You just don't know.
Why would you want to go?
Exactly. And then the other thing I watched since we last recorded was The Sting.
Now, how did that happen,
It's
Bill?
the craziest thing, Ed. I think I mentioned it somehow in front of you, and you almost had a heart attack when I said that I hadn't seen it. The Sting, once again, Robert Redford.
Paul
Newman.
Robert Shaw.
Robert Shaw. Some really great piano.
Oh, good old ragtime.
Ragtime. Nothing puts a skip in your step like some good ragtime.
This was Easter Sunday.
Yes, we celebrated the holiday.
Yes.
We looked around for eggs, and then we watched this thing.
Yeah. And what'd you think?
I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I mean, it's like a lot of things. It's an encapsulation of its time. You know what I mean? But you can see where, this is the thing we talked about, but you can see where the long con scam type movies got their formula from.
Yeah.
Or the bulk of their formula from. Of the whole audience doesn't really know the full story until
the end.
Until the end.
Yeah.
or only until they need to.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, just so that you keep them guessing. Do we get, like, full information? And they do that with all the little scenes of them pulling scams or something. It's not like, you know, Daniel's son going to Miyagi and he's, like, learning shit. Although he is kind of picking up the trade a little bit better from Paul Newman's character and stuff. But, yeah, I liked it. I thought there was going to be a little bit something more to it. It's probably just a matter of it living in the shadow of its legend. Yeah. Kind of in a way, which happens a lot with movies. You know, it's hard to live up to expectations like that when it's been built up in a way. But I can see why it's regarded in the way it was regarded at the time, because it was, you know, probably a very special thing at the time, because it was different than a lot of other things. Yeah. And not only did it bring the two of them back together, but it was a thing where, you know, the movie probably didn't work on a lot of conventional kind of things at the time, maybe. Like, I'm presuming that it was kind of like a standout for certain aspects.
Yeah, I mean, this was the best picture in 1973.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, the production value seems high for the time, and even though, like, by today's standards, it seemed kind of like, oh, that probably wasn't that big a deal, you know what I mean? But as a reflection of where it comes from, yeah, like, really cool, man. Yeah. Like a total standout, you know, and some cool scenes and stuff. What I like about watching older movies, which I've realized, is that, like, you know, at first it always feels kind of like awkward because it's like, oh, look at the way they do things back then. Like, you know, it's almost like this, you get, me anyway. Like this initial moment of being pulled out of it instantly as soon as it starts, kind of, because it's like, all right, this is how they shot the 1930s back in 1970. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, you know what I mean? It's a lot of light, like, you know what I mean, on this set, but that kind of thing. But once you settle into the groove, it all just, you know, it's like watching a black and white TV. Like, where after a couple minutes you forget that it's in black and white. Exactly. Part of your mind almost turns it into color, you know? So you kind of just start to forgive all these kinds of little rough edges.
Once you get enveloped in that world.
Yeah. And, you know, so it was really smart and really kind of different. But like I said, it was fun to watch and see. Like, okay, I get where this motif now comes from to do exactly what they do. This long con where it's... audience doesn't know the full well, and even in the last moments when you think one thing kind of happened, it really kind of didn't. It all works out in the end. Yeah, you know what I mean. But
it's a beautifully crafted screenplay, and the characters are so fun.
Yeah, and I think one of the things too, it's great about the end in a way is that, like, unlike a modern day ending, it doesn't try so hard, like, to put a button on everything. Yeah, like when the con is over,
it's done.
The movie's over. Yeah, it's like, all right, we did it. Bye. You know what I mean? Which, like, you know, usually, like, I'm used to movies having, like, you know, 3 layers of 3 scenes of closing down shop, basically. Yeah. It's like, okay, now we see where this character goes off into the sunset. This guy goes and does his thing. The girl picks one of them. Yeah. You know.
Flashes forward to 6 months later, and they see, oh, we're doing okay.
Post-credit scene, all shit, sequel coming, you know. But, so, yeah, I dug it. Dug it a lot. You know, it's earned its credit. I'll give it a 4.
Okay.
You can't say it like that, like you just judged my rating to say, I accept that. Because they can't see your face, Ed, but that's the face you basically added with that.
I accept that.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you for accepting my personal opinion on a thing that means nothing to anyone.
Well, you made the right choice.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what matters most. So, with that, I guess let's check out the time. Let's see what time we got. We're
going about an hour and a half.
About an hour and a half. We can round it out with this. This isn't a thing that is going to run too long. It's basically a simple question. You know, last week, I forget the exact setup on it, but Tom's Kirk, I believe, somebody's in an email or something, maybe Wesley's email, was like, hey, this... would you rather live here or there? You know, I forget what movie world it was. Would you rather live in this world or that world?
Yes.
So Thomas,
it was like Hunger Games or something else.
Jurassic Park. Right. So then Thomas Kirk was like, hey, you could do this versus that, or that versus this, or this versus that. And I was like, that's it. Boom. We got a bit. Okay. We got a segment. So
we do.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what time. I'm tired of that. I can't really sit through that fucking again. You know, I haven't heard some Panthro in a while. So we'll call this World Conflict.
Okay.
Okay, it's like this world versus that world. Which one's the better one to be in? We'll hash it out. We'll figure it out. All right? And then I think in the list I started making, I started to find some parallels between a couple of different places.
Okay.
So at least it's a connecting point. All right? So for this one, we're going to start this week or this time. I don't know how often we'll do this. We'll just kind of come to it once in a while. Avatar, the world of Avatar versus the world of the Matrix. The connecting point being that in both of those movies and worlds, you can jack in to another life setup, let's say.
Pandora versus the Matrix.
Well, not Pandora, but the world of, not the planet world, but I mean that universe. So that's like saying you would be in that time frame. Let's say you're basically the main character from that. You have that option. I wouldn't say that you're the main character in the Matrix because that makes you Neo. No. But let's, so, you're a guy who can jump into an avatar body as well.
Okay, I think for me, this is a pretty easy decision that I'm going to take the world of Avatar.
Okay.
Because it's real.
Okay, fair enough.
Whereas the Matrix is something you plug into and it's controlled by machines that want to kill you or trap you and enslave you.
That's a good point. All fair points.
Me, I'm afraid of heights, so I'm going with the Matrix.
I think there's some heights involved, depending on what kind of life you might lead there.
Well, that's just only.
But but if you're able to be someone who jacks into the Matrix, then you do have a certain amount of control of it while you're there. Where in Pandora, you're a being living a life in a world where you're going to be up high and you could fall to your death.
And you know what, too? Like in the Matrix, you can just kind of be resigned to not being one of those. You could just stay a drone, and just kind of
not break the laws of physics.
Have a life very much like the one you have now.
You can be what's his name,
Cypher.
Joe Pantoliano, when he's like, "Oh, I want to eat this steak. I know it doesn't exist,
but these steaks are delicious."
But then once in a while, Agent Smith might take over me and turn me into an agent, and then I might be forced to fight Neo and then get killed by him.
And a down point, too, is in the Matrix, like, if you're not... Neo. Here's the thing. You know what? In the Matrix, if you're not Neo and they pull you out, they fucked you. Because life sucks outside the Matrix if you're not Neo, who gets to be the cool guy.
Yeah.
And the hero and the savior. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're living in a hole in the earth. Yeah. And we're just in rags, and you're on the run from other robots, you know what I mean? And, life is really bad. It's shitty
you're basically
top.
Being chased by the bad guy in both of them all the time, and you could die.
Yeah. In either reality of the Matrix, you're being hunted, basically. And top surface is no place to go. Yeah. As we've seen in that. So Avatar might be the better choice, because at the very least, if you give up being in the hookup in whatever the other version is that you jack into, you go back to the real world that is like real life, is a livable life. Or, so it's like, if in Avatar, do you go back? If you get back on the ship, or do you stay in the, on the planet as one of them, or do in Matrix say, okay, I'll go live with the people in Xanadu or wherever the frick it was. What was it?
But on Pandora, you can't live on Pandora unless you're in the suit, because you can't live in that atmosphere.
That's right. That's right. Humans can't breathe in that oxygen, in that atmosphere.
Okay, so you can't forget that. There is that limitation.
And what happens when they do obtain all the unobtainium? Yeah. That's also the conundrum. Yeah. So you're going to stick with your answer, Ed, of
Avatar.
Of Avatar. People in the chat room, what do you guys think? And then Bob?
I'm going with the Matrix.
You're staying with the Matrix. And I'm going to go Avatar, I think, just because, like, I got a feeling I would just hate just how sweaty and hot the world of the Matrix was when they were in Zion. When they were in Zion, it was like everyone was wearing like basically potato sacks for shirts. I'm like, well, that's what it is. You guys look hot and itchy.
Yeah, well, they're also like in the core of the planet.
That's what I'm saying.
It's kind of hot.
Stale, very stale. I got a feeling it's not pumping and circulating the air enough.
They're near the lava.
Yeah. Hot. So that's that.
Okay.
All right. What are people saying in the chat room about that, Ed? Anything? Any feedback or opinions?
So like James B. Ham is sounding off. Pandora doesn't require internally installed hardware.
That's true. That's true.
Do I have Neo's realization that I could do whatever I want in the Matrix? That's a good question.
It's a good question.
Are you aware you're in the Matrix?
I don't know how we play that because I think
can you be one with the code?
Yeah, if you become an agent, you're already dead, Ed.
That's true.
When they take over, they rewrite the coding and you're erased. Which exactly.
Yeah.
Which you have no control over that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know when that's going to happen.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they basically unplug a battery.
Yeah. Thomas K points out that Avatar seemed to be open to lots of sex.
That's true. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do feel like in Matrix when they were in Zion,
it's a very hippie kind of existence, though.
Mm-hmm. I think they had that a little bit in in Zion too, where there was a hot, looked like everybody was fucking everybody scene.
Yeah.
Where
there was that celebration.
It was like orgy for no particular
see,
reason.
like they were just joining ponytails. So
no, that's Avatar. Did I say Avatar?
Yeah.
I meant Matrix.
Oh, okay.
When they're near Zion, and it's like when we first meet them, and it's like, all right, now it's time to party.
Right, because it was like the New Year.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. Now I don't know what this means. Palmer's pointing out Third Earth. The answer is always Third Earth.
Well, that's from Thundercats.
Oh, okay.
That's a Thundercats reference.
Oh, okay, because you were playing Panther.
So that's all the feedback we got on that, basically.
Yeah, that's the gist of it.
Reasons, I guess. You know what I mean?
Did we get any emails this week?
Yeah, Ed. What do you think I'm fucking vamping for?
Oh, okay.
Fuck, they're in the oven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You want to maybe do the DC report and then come back to email?
No.
Well, no, because he's got to play that. He's got to find
let's load it up. But it's just a matter of, like you said, it's our transition piece. All right, so emails. Why do these things always got to give me a fucking survey, like when I'm doing a show? Like,
well,
I don't want to answer a survey now.
Because they know you're around.
Yeah, you're too fucking smart for me, Ed. All right? You got it all fucking figured out. I'm just pulling out the plug on that until I
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, James Hazelden, you son of a bitch.
You didn't read these beforehand, did you?
No.
Okay.
Why would I have to?
He never does.
Why would I have to?
Ed, how long you been around?
Yeah, I thought you paid attention to the show. So this was from James Hazelden. It's been another week. I still can't get over the insanity. I don't know how anyone could be so blinded by numbers. I mean, it's mystifying. Every time I think about it, you all know you screwed up the brackets. Duke would have easily beat 50 Papa Smurfs. He's not letting this go.
No.
Anywho, time to get to the real meat of this week's email. Now that Walking Dead has died, I mean, we spent 2 years on the road to war, the build-up, the agonizing backstory episodes, and now we'll see snippets and flashbacks for 3 years. I've almost finished up my tradition of listening to We're Alive, a story of survival, audio drama series that is an alternative zombie, quote-unquote, story, and it's very, very well done. I think I've listened to a couple of the early episodes. At least the first one, for sure. It was a while ago, so I'm not sure how... I know I didn't get deep, but I do remember listening to the first one. It's ballyhooed, I believe is the word.
Ballyhooed?
Ballyhooed.
Ooh.
People like it.
Fancy word.
Every year when...
I'm sorry, Bill. Did you get that off the calendar, for the Word of the Day calendar?
Word of the Day. It's Word of the Month, so I drive people crazy with it. Every year when Walking Dead ends, I listen to it again, and this will be my 4th time through. Have you ever heard of it or listened to it? And like I said, I have, but I didn't get hooked. I guess Ed never did, but yeah, We're Alive.
No, not familiar with it.
It's definitely...
I smell cigarette smoke on my my microphone.
Weird. So yeah, I don't know, but people should check it out because it's good.
Cool.
It's good.
Cool.
He says, "Fear the Walking Dead, though, is a sad joke.
Yeah,
they screwed that up so bad. They should have taken a We're Alive's approach to their first season. They would have been at least as popular as The Walking Dead if they had everyone." If they had, and everyone might not be looking forward to the episodes where the idiotic main cast gets to die finally. which is, I guess, how that's going over there on Fear the Walking Dead.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
Doctor Who premiered.
And
this is the actor's last season as a doctor, and it sucked. Did they change writers? I mean, they royally blew it. This was no good hook to make me want to look at the next episode other than what's in the vault. I cared nothing about whoever the girl is. I can't remember her name, but you should because it's Bill. But I remember she made a girl fat with a few extra French fries at lunchtime. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, work is work. Life is life. The garden is progressing, already harvesting some small amounts. Cauliflower, onions, peppers, and soon some tomatoes.
Yeah. I didn't think it was that kind of garden.
Yeah. I got opium. I got a little bit of asparagus.
You want a little hashish? I got it right here. Don't worry.
I got good stuff. I got good stuff. Oh, yeah. Watch the chat room. More to come. LOL. P.S. A special message for Uncle Jay. Is he there? I hope so. If not, I'm sure he's in the chat room, so tell him, fuck you, from me. He'll know what it means. LOL. I'm pretty sure that's like international.
Yeah.
At this point.
that was from James, right?
That was from James.
We got to make sure to text Uncle Jay that at the end of the show.
Well, speaking of Uncle Jay.
Okay.
Whiskey, hot dogs, and Tom Berenger.
Oh, he's been listening.
Evening, motherfuckers. I can't do the whole email like that. Sorry I couldn't tune into the show tonight. As you know, I'm at the Chiller Theater Expo in Parsippany, New Jersey. And by the time you read this, I will most likely be in a state of mind that won't register as human. Last night was a fun night. Saw some old friends, bought some fun geek shit that I don't need, drank some of the best 12-year-old bourbon I've had in recent memory, ate 2 hot dogs that raised my blood pressure faster than MTA raises its fares, and most importantly, I met Tom fucking Berenger, Oscar nominee, Golden Globe winner, and one of Uncle Jay's favorite actors of the 80s. I had him sign my Platoon Laserdisc and poster. Laserdiscs always spark up a conversation with celebrities, which of course always veers into other conversations. I briefly mentioned the Wicked Theory podcast to him, and then I would send a respectful shout out to him as being one of the coolest celebrities I've ever met in my life. I also told him that he should have won the fucking Oscar, to which he replied, "Thanks so much. I actually thought I might win the damn thing." I also thanked him for all the work he's done. Great guy.
Wow.
Anyways, I'm back at it tonight. Bands will be playing, alcohol and such will be shared, and Uncle Jay will be howling at the moon. Give my best to Palmer and the peeps in the chat room. Tell Bob I miss him. Tell Ed he's wrong regarding whatever it is he's talking about.
Wait, but I didn't...
And to Bill, fuck you. Okay, love you guys. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Uncle Jay. P.S.
Later, Jay.
I have been spreading the word about the WTPC. Hopefully you'll snag some more listeners out of this. Hey, man, just yell it and yell it some more.
Yep.
You know?
Yell it from the rafters.
I'm looking at this guest list, and it's amazing.
Is it really?
They have at this convention. First off, the movies that
we know Uncle Jay's there, so that's
yeah.
We've got reunions for movies like
one reason why
like Fright Night.
Okay.
And there's 3 cast members of the American Pie. Mm-hmm. We've got the reunion of Where the Boys Are. You got both Dolores Hart and George Hamilton.
Well, hopefully they get reunioned and we can find out where the boys were.
You got Tom Berenger, Slim Jim Phantom, Dean Cain.
Slim Jim Phantom?
Yes. From the Stray Cats?
Oh, is that why I don't know?
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. Xander Berkeley. That skeevy guy who runs Hilltop on Walking Dead.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Greg.
Yeah. We got Jesus and Dwight. We got Tom Payne and Austin Emilio. Mm-hmm. Who else we got? We got Fred the Hammer Williamson.
This is turning into this is a bigger kind of list of people than I thought.
Yeah, Tom Savini, Bai Ling.
This might be the big New Jersey-based convention of the year.
Peter Riegert. You got Brad Savage.
You got Alex Winters.
Yeah, you got Alice Kriege, who was the board queen in Star Trek First Contact.
I was kidding about Alex Winters.
Yeah.
She's not there. All right, I think you're running out.
You got Starsky and Hutch.
Wait a minute.
No, I'm sorry. No Hutch. Well, we got Starsky and Huggy.
Starsky and a Hutch, but it's a piece of furniture from his house that he brings with him for a joke.
Yeah, evidently, yeah, Hutch canceled.
Hutch.
Yeah. But,
Paul Michael Glaser, Antonio Fargas, and the car.
Yeah, and the TV Gran Torino. We got Paul Michael Glaser, Antonio Fargas, and the actual Gran Torino from the show.
My Gran Torino.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, he's going. Andrew Robinson from Dirty Harry also played Garrick on Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
All right, well, at least that was something relative.
Yeah. He was Scorpio in Dirty Harry.
Anything else? Anybody else?
Jan Michael Vincent.
Jan Michael Vincent?
Yeah.
Jan Michael Vincent?
Mm-hmm.
I love him. He my favorite with the Air Wolf.
Yeah.
With the Rockies.
Sure.
And the guns. I love that show.
Dennis O'Hare.
Oh, now you're talking. Who?
Yeah. Character actor. He was in True Blood.
All right, I think you're running the no offense to them, but I think we're running out of time. See, you start listening to people from Sha Na Na, and I'm fucking done, bro.
Susan Backliney.
Oh my god,
the chick who dies at the end of Jaws.
All right, I'm gonna
at the beginning of Jaws, rather.
Next email, because we are done with that.
Yeah.
Okay, next one starts. Good day. Please permit me to introduce myself. I am Albert Johnson, a business consultant, and I represent a client that is interested in engaging your service as manager of a large volume to fund to the tune of $20.5 million for investment in businesses areas. You will guide us in your country, and you will be offered 20%.
Is this from Palmer?
No. If this proposal is acceptable to you, please get back to me so we can work out remuneration for your participation in the transaction and let you know on how we hope to achieve this objective. Please send your telephone to enable me to call you soonest for more information on this matter. He wants to call me soonest. Yours faithfully.
There's this problem, though, Bill, right off the bat. He wants you to send him your cell phone, so you can't. You don't have his address to mail him your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, he does give his email address, but it's like, why,
How are you going to email a cell phone bill?
Exactly. I got to put the whole thing in. All right, so thanks, Brown, but I will pass on the loan, sir. So I just felt like reading the junk mail because we got good mail, too. Next one, guess who?
Who's that?
Steph.
Hey, Sammy.
Steph Nunez.
Stephanie, how you doing?
From the Gotham Lights podcast. And you've been on that show.
Yes, I have.
I have, too.
I may be on there again soon.
Oh.
I haven't been on.
You watching Gotham?
Huh? No.
Okay.
Well, that'll do it.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, we're in negotiations right now, but I'm pretty hopeful.
Oh, okay. All right. I like that. All right. So hers starts out, hey, yous guys, as they always do. I'll be heading on vacation to Germany soon. So this will be the last Steph mail for a little while. 9,
Stephanie, 9.
If you could go to any European country, which one would it be and why?
Oh, it's easy. It's Britain.
The
UK.
The one easiest to assimilate in?
Well, no, because they speak English there.
That's what. Yeah, that's usually what does. Yeah.
I mean,
I'll go with the safe one.
Britain as well?
I don't know. Whatever one's the safe one. Whatever one hasn't getting blown up.
Depends on the week. Fair enough. I probably lean that way too. But when you go to Europe, it's all like you can go anywhere because the whole thing is the size of fucking Missouri or some shit. You know what I mean? So that's the thing that's hard for us to adjust to. It's like, we go so far to go to another state, but meanwhile, it's like, you have to skip through 3 countries.
Yeah.
It
feels
so
a
small.
lot smaller.
Yeah, some of them are so small. It's like, this is a neighborhood. I'm sorry, it's not a country. You guys are fooling yourself.
It's one exit on a throughway. We call those small towns. Sorry.
I'll just bring my American ignorance and tell them, this ain't a country. This ain't nothing. Where I come from, it's all bigger.
We put our steers in this right here.
Yeah, I know, but I know people can't. People say that the UK doesn't count because it's so similar. And
yeah.
So if I'm not going to the UK, I'm going to say I'm going to Ireland.
But you're certainly not going to Canada.
Fuck those guys.
If you're going to Ireland, you're going to the UK. That's part of the United Kingdom.
No, it's not. Well, Northern Ireland is, but
right.
But Ireland is, is its
Ireland
own
proper.
Country. Yes.
Why it's got a wall going now?
Sounds like a loophole, Ed.
Hey, well, that's like saying that.
Because you could just go over the border to the.
If we have any Irish listeners, they are pissed right now because that's like saying Mexico is part of the United States.
I'm just kidding.
All right, so then thank you, Stephanie, for the email. On to the next one. It's from Wesley Gaskins.
Hey,
yo, Wesley.
You remember this kid?
Hey, Wes, what's going on?
He says, hey, you funny guys.
Hey.
Sam just says, hey, you guys. Wesley's like, hey, you funny guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's
taking the ass kissing to another level.
just a little bit. He likes to get a little specific, you know? Hey, you guys, what superhero would be the safest and the most dangerous to be the sidekick to? Or the sidekick of? Like, you know.
The Tick.
It would simultaneously both the safest and the most dangerous.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
Well, I think Superman, you wouldn't really do much.
Right.
'Cause-
Yeah, he's handling all the big stuff. He's like, I got this. And it's like, all right, yeah you do.
Yeah, well, that's why Superboy's got the dog over somewhere.
Yeah, he's got to make his own trouble.
No.
Like, he's got to make trouble for himself to get into
Yeah.
things.
Whereas I feel like Deadpool, you are basically there to be collateral damage. Like you are there so that he could pull you as a human shield.
He means well.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah, you know, but, you know, it's like, okay, don't worry, kid. I'll give you a transfusion of my blood. It's all going to be good. I feel like being Lobo's sidekick, like that should be a running bit with Lobo.
Yeah.
That, like, his sidekick keeps getting killed. Like, I could totally see that being, or even Deadpool too. But just one issue after issue after issue. Maybe that's part of the miniseries, like the shtick in it.
Yeah, I actually think Deadpool you'd be pretty safe, but you'd be going through some insane shit all the time. You'd be safe because he'd just step in front of you all the time.
Well, also because he feels like he'd be such a horrible boss. Like the worst.
Yeah. He'd feel so bad about being potentially a horrible boss, he would end up protecting your ass all the time.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't do shit.
Yeah, that's true. But who else, though? I think Wolverine's kind of risky. You know what? You know who's got bad luck? Is Captain America. His sidekicks don't really do too good.
No.
I mean, look at Bucky. First of all, not only does he get
falls off the wing of a plane during World
get
War
strapped to it, it's going to be used as a bomb. Basically, we're going to crash this into the White House, and you're going to be honest. Even if he didn't fall off, that would have been some end. But then he fell off, died, supposedly. But no. You're alive, and we're going to bring you back.
Super soldiers.
For Russia.
Yeah.
You know, Cold War. That didn't go very well. And then you look at Rick.
Give you a mind fuck, my friend.
And in the comics, you know, his sidekicks also include Rick Jones, who, as a sidekick, generally, has not really had a great run.
Didn't Dave Chappelle do a skit on him?
On who? Rick Jones?
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
No, Rick James.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Was that serious?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
When although I am picturing Rick Jones doing the Rick James, I'm on your couch, bitch. And then Bruce being like, get over my couch, I'll see. And then like hulking out because he liked the couch.
Rick James was
No, I know who Rick James is. I don't know who Rick Jones is.
So Rick Jones is the kid who ran around with the Hulk when the Hulk actually.
That's the cowboy hat.
Yeah, like he saved him, pulled him out of the trench, threw him in the trench, and Banner took the blast. Really,
gotcha.
Because he was saving that kid, and then Rick Jones throughout the Marvel world, like basically is the go-to sidekick guy because for a while then he became
because he had nothing else to do.
he became Captain America's sidekick for a little while, like a new incarnation of Bucky. He was the alter ego for Captain Marvel before Marvel died. Like, so Marvel would clang his wristbands together, the Nega bands or the Nega bands, and then they would swap places, kind of.
Gotcha.
Rick had them on his wrists, had no access to the abilities or anything, but basically it was like a transformation thing.
A la Thor, kind of, right?
Yes, like the old days of Thor with Donald Blake, which I was explaining to Dominic the other day, like not too long ago. I was like, you know, it's like the whole Donald Blake thing. He's like, the what?
Oh, okay.
I'm like, yeah, they don't do that in the movies. Yeah, good point. Like, you know, that Donald Blake
originally to teach Thor humility, he attached him to a weak human being.
Yeah, who actually, if you remember,
an alcoholic doctor, right?
Some kind of troubles.
Well,
troubles. Yeah.
If you remember the return of the Incredible Hulk.
Well, that's what started it. I was like, if you want to see that in action, if you want to see the first time the Hulk and Thor teamed up,
where the hammer looked like something you buy in an antique store.
Oh my God! Like, it's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so rough. But at the time, I was like, yeah, it's great. Give me a Thor TV show. I'd love that. And it's like, no, I don't.
Like
that may not be the best idea.
Like that series of Hulk movies was meant to create a new Avengers, and
well, it was supposed to be backdoor pilot for Daredevil, a Daredevil show, and then the next movie was the first one was Thor.
Then he had the Hulk.
Then
it was Thor. Then he had Daredevil.
Yeah, and then the last one was just the death of the Incredible Hulk.
Yes, which is heartbreaking.
Which is you thought the end music was sad.
Yeah.
You know,
but
Bob's like, I guess I gotta play it.
But a great last episode.
Great
like finale for that show.
And a very interesting way to go. Where the story took this weird quasi spy kind of corporate intrigue turn.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, the woman he got involved with turned out to be like she had reasons to kill him as much as anybody else.
Yeah, like they were actually going to take it public and try to build his serum into something mass-produced.
Theorem. You said theorem.
Oh, how are the T-shirts doing?
Oh, my God, the T-shirts, folks.
Yeah.
Hey, did you know? I don't know if you knew, but we got T-shirts.
Yeah, but until Monday, right?
Well, no, just until they sell out. We're going to hit 20. Okay. So if anybody's looking at the clock, it'll roll over it'll continue to roll over until we sell 20.
Okay.
So the clock is a default because there's 2 modes you can sell by. You can just do limited time only. And it's literally like, hey, get them all you can. Or it's like we put a goal up.
Because it does say until Monday.
Yeah, so on Monday at a certain time, whatever the time runs out, it'll roll over and say another 6 days.
And if anyone's looking, it's teespring.com/wickedtea.
Yeah, and they got lots of great sizes. I ordered myself one. It came to with shipping and everything. It was a little more than $20 though. I got a 3XTL.
Okay.
So it's an extra long T-shirt as well as being extra large.
Okay.
So if it shrinks a little, it'll fit perfect.
There you go.
There you go. That's thinking ahead, folks.
And do we know how many we've sold so far?
We do.
Oh, okay.
There you go. We do.
Okay.
So there's still more available.
Cool.
There's only a max of 20, so if we still got some available, we still got some available.
Sorry about that. I got all jammed up and shit I should have done. I should have done earlier.
You suck,
right.
dude.
I know, and
Just
that's why people like the show. Supposedly, I've been told that. No, we like it where it's rough on the edges and you fuck shit up constantly. It's like, okay, I guess there's some kind of
train check radio. Train
check radio.
Train wreck.
Nope, it's train. I can barely even repeat it now. Fuck, it's train check radio.
Train wreck radio.
That too. So yeah, that is indeed what this is. I don't know what that means for you, Ed, but for me, it means that we're near the end of the show.
Oh,
yeah, like.
You mean it's almost over?
Yeah.
Yay!
This is the end.
This is the end.
Can I give one quick shout out?
To who?
My brother.
Is he listening?
I hope so.
Okay. You want to give him a shout out? Give him a shout out. Give him a little shout out.
My brother.
There you go. You're done.
Private First Class James O'Hare graduated boot camp this week.
Congratulations, James.
Moving on to advanced training in Texas to be a combat medic.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, and while there, he got engaged to his girlfriend Kayla.
Ooh, isn't she lucky?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. That's a lot going on for him.
Yeah.
A lot of life changes in that.
Yes, it is.
Oof, marriage and military service. Let's hope that all works.
That's
a lot. That's a lot.
And now I'm the oldest of 3, and both my siblings are engaged.
Nice. So pressure's on.
Yeah.
Soon. I'm telling you.
Well, not for me.
Not for you.
Start clocking the overtime, Ed.
I was telling you, you asked me, like, when does it kick in? When does the bullshit really start?
Yeah.
You've got older sibs. And I'm like, man, once the grandkids come out, then it really starts.
Okay.
And it's like, when are you going to give me one? And it's like, you just got 2. Can you slow down? Can you relax?
Why would you want more of these?
I mean, because you get to drop them off. That's why you want them. Easy peasy for you. All right. So,
I want to see you drop your kids off to grandma.
Yeah, well, that's not happening for me. That's a long drive. That's a multi-state drive.
Yeah.
I might as well stop on the way down and do the tour and say hello to Wesley and then James and then whoever's in a further state
Don't
down
forget
from
to
that.
stop at south of the border somewhere in Georgia.
Yeah. Well, who's in
the
Georgia?
tourist trap?
It's literally south of the border.
It's called south of the border.
Gotcha.
Is the name of the place. It's a tourist trap.
Everyone always talks about that place. I always heard just hearing the description of it made it sound like bullshit. Mm-hmm.
No, it's just you go, you drive in, and it looks like there's stuff to do there, but all there are shops.
Yeah, it's like
and it's
like
all crap. It's not a mall. It's just it looks like
it's like a swap meet.
No, it's an area where you go to buy souvenirs.
So it's very tourist.
But it looks
trappy.
so it looks like a place you might go with a boardwalk and
okay,
all that. But there's nothing really to do there.
Okay,
you know, it's got that boardwalky kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
But you just kind of walk around in circles and buying.
So
crap.
it feels like an outlets kind of place.
Nah, not even that. It just looks like
Jersey Shore.
The crap you would see on the boardwalk on the Jersey Shore.
Right.
Like spread out in a one block kind of format. You know, like there's shops all over, and then the one big one in the center of it all.
Right.
But it's all boardwalk kind of stuff with concrete or whatever. But it's just an area you go to, and it's like you see the Mexican on the top, and it's like south of the border.
Yeah. Then you go there.
It's all crap.
Yeah, it's all booty. All right.
Anyway, is this thing over?
Almost.
Thanks, everybody.
Hey, thanks for listening. Check out the show at wickedtheory.com and on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free. And we'll say thanks to Ed for coming in. And where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Edward O'Hare TBD.
What about Bob? Where can
I'm on Twitter too, Ed. Bob WTPC.
Well, that's outstanding.
Amazing, isn't it?
It is. I'm on there.
Coincidence.
I'm on there as well.
Really?
It's true.
Holy shit.
At Wicked Theory, which makes it as simple.
Wow.
Kind of basically. And then that's that, I guess. Check out the T-shirts at teespring.com/wickedtea.
And T is spelled T-E-E.
Indeed it is. And then I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I'm probably not. But I might be. But I'm not. All right, Bob, that's maybe what I was forgetting. Can take us out of here.
To understand what I'm about to tell you, you need to do something first. You need to believe in the impossible. Can you do that?
Welcome to the DC TV Report for the week ending Saturday, April 22nd, 2017. I'm Edward O'Hare, nickname to be determined. Still no CW superhero shows this week, but we did get 2 new episodes of fun, offbeat DC Comics goodness. Let's dig in, shall we? First up, Tuesday, iZombie. Liv drank a latte of brains from a mindfulness instructor that made her annoyingly contemplative. She and Clive figured out the killer was a former business partner who went to prison after the victim ripped him off on a stock deal. Caddy from the CDC started getting close to discovering zombies in Seattle, and Ravi lied to throw her off the scent. Blaine started playing piano at a fancy jazz and discovered his dad Angus is still alive. Angus and Don continued prepping their zombie nightclub. Major continued his soldier for hire training and started getting sick. Ravi's cure is going sour. Ravi developed a possible remedy for the amnesia and begged Blaine to test it. It took a really angry Ravi badgering Blaine and admitting his love for Peyton, but Blaine eventually agreed. Last minute reveal, Peyton made up with Ravi, but their welcome back kiss was interrupted by a noise that turned out to be a pantsless caddy. Peyton stormed out and sought comfort from Liv as Blaine played piano. Then moving to Thursday, Powerless. The whole company prepared to leave on a corporate retreat. Van hired comedy writers to feed jokes to him through an earpiece so he could blend in with the common folk. Everyone got on the bus except Emily and the rest of the regular cast when suddenly Dr. Psycho released a gas in the city and the building went into lockdown. Emily wanted to pass the time singing karaoke, but the team said no. Teddy broke a window and everyone had to hide in the lab. Emily inhaled the deadly truth gas and started laying into everyone, refusing to come back into the lab. Van gave an inspirational speech pre-written for him, and the team was able to lure Emily back with karaoke. Last minute reveal, the next day, Emily remembered nothing. The team appreciated Emily more and invited her to karaoke after work. Well, that's the DC TV report for this week. You can find me here and on the Wicked Theory podcast live every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern on Mixlr at mixlr.com/wicked-theory. Feel free to download us wherever good podcasts are given away for free. Support us at patreon.com/wickedtheory. Visit us at wickedtheory.com and email us at podcast@wickedtheory.com. I'm Edward O'Hare, and this has been a Wicked Theory Studios production.